Good afternoon, Ms. Bridgewater. Hope you're doing well today.
Your Honor. Hoping the same for you as well.
Thank you. The SAP reset date, please.
October the 21st.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And good afternoon, everyone. We'll get started as soon as courtroom 2 gets on with us. Courtroom 2, let me know when you're ready for me to give my announcement, please.
Ready, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Who do we have first?
We can start with position 4, Mr. Barton.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barton. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006161H with fare evasion and criminal trespass. See, who do we have on from pretrial this afternoon?
Hello, good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Ms. Jackson.
Right, there are 30 cycles. The last arrest was July the 6th, 2023 in Coweta County, Georgia for a failure to appear. He does appear to be on probation in Coweta County for possession of cocaine. That disposition date was December the 4th, 2023, and the term is for 3 years. He does have prior felony convictions. Sworn in 2022 out of Rabun County, Georgia, for possession of Schedule I controlled substance. One in 2021 out of California for corporal injury/spouse. One in 2012 out of Fayette County for interference with government property. One in 2010 out of Fayette County for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. And there are misdemeanor convictions. One in 2022 out of Cobb County for criminal trespassing. One in 2021 out of California for battery and a violation of a protective violation order. One in 2019 out of Colorado for a DUI. One in 2018 out of Colorado for assault. And one in 2018 out of Douglas County for theft by shoplifting. And there was a nolo contendere sentence in 2017 out of Coweta County for forgery in the 4th degree. And one in 2013 out of Coweta County for driving while license suspended or revoked. And he received a nolo contendere sentence in 2012 out of Coweta County for driving while license suspended or revoked. It appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 3. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Rhodes.
Good afternoon, Judge. As it relates to this particular incident, on October 4th of this year, at approximately 1:30, Mr. Barton was seen pushing through the handicap fare gate to enter into the MARTA facility. He was doing so obviously without paying the required fee for entering the MARTA facility. He was advised of the violation and was placed under arrest. Upon further look at Mr. Barton's record, they saw that he had an active suspension from MARTA that would have ended actually today on October 6, 2025. It would have actually ended today. But given the new violation, Your Honor, and just a failure to pay on this particular day, we are asking for a good bond in the amount of $1,000 in light of the 30 cycles in the criminal history that you just heard, a $100 cash bond. So $1,000 good bond and $100 cash bond. We're asking that he stay away from all MARTA facilities for at least 90 days. And we're asking that the social worker be assigned to ascertain whether there are agencies that can help with free MARTA transportation. Thank you, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tynes. This your case?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Mr. Barton is 35 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He graduated from high school in 2008. He has struggled with homelessness for the past 5 years, he tells me. He is not employed right now. He cannot afford any bond at all, $100 cash bond or $1,000 surety bond. I mean, the charges here are fare evasion and criminal trespass, where, as you heard from Mr. Rhodes, the suspension ended, 2 days today, 2 days after he was arrested. He was not aware of the suspension or thought enough time had passed. I would ask, he is recommended for a UJR level 3, as you heard from pretrial. So I would ask for the signature bond. He reports to probation in Coweta County. He is able to report to pretrial services, and he does have a good address in Newnan, Georgia, where he receives mail. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it's at level 3 where he's recommended, Your Honor.
Does he need a social worker to assist with housing, Mr. Tynes?
Yes, Your Honor, and I will request the social worker to visit him.
Okay, so I want to have a social worker visit. I don't want to set him up for failure by giving him level 3, but at the same time, I don't want to keep him incarcerated. For each charge, it'll be a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. The social worker visit to assist with housing. He's to abide by any MARTA suspensions and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Barton.
Next is position 14, Mr. Cruz.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cruz. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006157A with battery family violence, simple battery family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 9 cycles. The last arrest was July the 31st, 2014, out of Clayton County for a probation violation. He does appear to have a prior felony conviction that was in 2003 for burglary. And there's a prior misdemeanor conviction. It's in 2014 out of Clayton County for driving without a valid license and a DUI. He appears to meet the criteria for a UJR level 2. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Afternoon, Ms. McGill.
Yes, Your Honor. Just a little bit about this case. On October 4th, 20 of this year, law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute that occurred at 2330 Perkerson Road Southwest. The victim, Miss Tiffany Walker, stated that she and the defendant got into a verbal dispute about Mr. Cruz slamming her door and causing things to fall off her dresser. She left her bedroom and Mr. Cruz followed her downstairs. And as they were still arguing, Miss Cruz slapped her in her face. Their son, Mr. Cruz Jr., told police that he witnessed his dad slap his mom. The defendant left visible marks on the victim's face. We have spoken to the victim, and I believe she is present on Zoom. And so at the appropriate time, I'd like to allow her to speak. She wants no further contact with the defendant, and she would like a stay away. So we will request that in light of his history, we are recommending a $2,500 secured bond to have no further contact with the victim, Ms. Tiffany Walker, to stay away from the address, that he complete a one-day anger awareness course, that he consume no alcohol or drugs, or possess no weapons while out on bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court, now is your opportunity. I would need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in.
I am present. I don't know how to show my camera. I've tried. I can enter the Zoom through my phone. I'm using a computer, but I can go through my phone and see if that would allow the video to show or my picture to be shown.
Okay. I'm happy to have you here this afternoon, Ms. Walker, but I'll have to see your face if I'm going to hear from you. So however it is that you need to try to make that work, go ahead and do that. I'll give you a few moments to see if you can use another device. While I'm waiting, Mr. Ty, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cruz is 40 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He tells me that he works 7 days a week at a local bar and grill in Atlanta. He does have 6 children, 4 of which are minors. So, he's working hard to support them, and, is concerned about losing his job. He does have the hold in Clayton County. So he would be released to that hold, I believe. His convictions, the most recent one I heard was from 2014, 11 years ago. He is recommended for a signature bond at level 2. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 2, and I wouldn't object to the one-day anger awareness, but and the no further contact and stay away. We would need to hear from the complaining witness about that.
I am still attempting to allow my camera on my phone, and it still is not. Zoom is blocked from using my camera, and I don't know how to unblock it.
Okay. So, Ms. Walker, you can just answer my question, yes or no. Do you, it's my understanding that you don't want contact and you want him to stay away from the residence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon. For the battery, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For each of the other charges will be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Ms. Walker. Stay away from the Perkison Road address. You can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. Third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck, Mr. Cruz, Ms. Walker as well.
Next is position 23, Mr. Mack.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mack. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006164J with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, just a moment. I'm pulling that file now, Your Honor. Yes, there is one prior cycle. That last arrest was April the 25th, 2011 out of DeKalb County for destroy / remove / conceal, encumber / transfer / deal with property subject to security interest. There was the only thing that was disposition. It says no further action required, and that was on November the 28th, 2011. He does appear to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Is this your case, Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. On October 4th, 2025, law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute that occurred at 3301 Seville Southwest. They met with the victim, Robin Mack, who stated that her husband hit her with a bat, causing a laceration on her shin. She was treated by Grady. Police did apprehend the defendant, and he stated that his wife was trying to kill him. He said that he was going door to door to ringing doorbells that had a camera. The Mrs. Mack, she did note that he does have a mental health issue, a diagnosis actually, and that he has not slept and has not been taking his medicine. So with that being said, we do recommend a $3,000 unsecured bond, and that he get a mental health evaluation and treatment, that he stay away from the incident location, and that he have no further contact with Mrs. Robin Mack while out on bond.
Ms. Mack is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity.
Hi, Your Honor. My name is Imani Mack. I'm Nathan Mack's daughter, and
Okay,
I
all right, so hold on, Ms. Mack. Before I have you speak, I first asked for Ms. Robin Mack. Is Ms. Robin Mack on the line? Is this is Ms. Mack that's speaking here? I need for you to unmute yourself if you'd like to address the court, ma'am. We can't.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. If you can raise your
Okay.
right hand for me.
Yes,
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I would like to tell the court that he has never had any kind of violence before the mental instability came. And it started just a few weeks ago in September. His daughter, Imani Mack, she called the police there because he was having an episode where he was spinning and he was barking and he was laying on the ground, and he fell and hit his knee. But the police didn't take him, and Grady didn't take him the first day. The second day, he had another full-blown episode, and they took him that day to Wellstar Cobb. They had to get his vitals and everything stabilized with his kidneys and his liver, because he hadn't been eating, he hadn't been sleeping for like 3 days. So they got him settled. Then he was supposed to go do involuntary outpatient at Riverview. I had to go to work, so his sister and his daughter, they took him over to Riverview, and in the middle of them doing the assessment, he had another full-blown episode, and they checked him in on a 1013. They kept him, he checked in that Friday, and he was released on Thursday the 2nd. They gave him a prescription for some Risperdal, 1 milligram, but he did not want to take the medicine. So as the medicine wore off, then that psychosis came back to him. He didn't want to take it, said he wasn't going to take it. He said, I could take it. There's nothing wrong with him, and he wouldn't take it. So the night of the incident, he had been up all night. He'd been texting his sister, texting his nephew. He was calling everybody. He's talking to me. He's talking back and forth. So around 5 o'clock in the morning, he was talking about some knives. So what I did was I just packed everything up and put it in the trunk of the car. That is not the Nathan Mack that I know, that I married, that the family knows. He has never, ever even raised his voice up at me like that, let alone to raise a bat to hit me. And when I was in there, we was all on the call. I had called his sister. She's on this Zoom as well. I called the sister. His other sister was on his phone along with the aunt. And the sister that's on the Zoom, she was on my phone, and everybody was telling him, put the bat down. Because I had grabbed the bat at first. But he felt like he was the one being attacked. And he kept saying, nobody's gonna get me. Nobody is gonna get me. And I'm like, I'm not trying to get you, but he was not himself. He was all the way gone. Me personally, he needs treatment. He's not gonna do the treatment on his own voluntarily.
Okay, and it's my understanding at this point, if he does not do that, Ms. Mack, that you do not want any contact with him and you don't want him around your household. Is that correct?
If he don't get the treatment, I don't feel safe being at the house with him. I do not. But I don't want to say that I don't want any kind of contact with him, because I want to make sure that he gets the help that he needs.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being here this afternoon. I appreciate it. And just let me know, for those, I'm going to allow Ms. Imani to speak and anyone else that does want to speak. But this is just a bond hearing this afternoon. This is it's my job to determine whether or not what type of bond that he should be given. At the same time, this is live streamed over YouTube, so I don't want you placing all of the personal information on the record and that to that extent. But I do understand the problem from you, Miss Robin, so I appreciate that. Now, Miss Imani, and I see a Miss Deidre there. If you all would like to speak at this time, I'm happy to give you that opportunity before I allow his attorney to speak. But what I can do is I can make sure that he gets a mental health evaluation if that's what he is in need of as a requirement for his on his bond conditions. But what I need to know from, if you all would like to speak, whether or not you want to assist him, whether or not you want him to be around him or not at this time. So, Ms. Imani, if you want to address me now, if you have something that you want to tell me, if you raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yes, ma'am. You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Hi. So again, like Miss Robin said, my father has never had any violent backgrounds when he was married with my mother for 17 years. And recently, like he has had mental issues, and it really just started. My whole 23 years of life, he's never dealt with anything, but just for like the safety of the household, like during the bond, we do want him to receive treatment. If it's okay, if he could do inpatient treatment somewhere else in the facility where we know he is taking his medications, because when he was released, he took his medication and he was fine, but then days did go on where he did have his episodes. And that's our biggest concern, because he is a working man. He works in the entertainment industry with movies. He's the captain for the Teamsters. And so we don't want this to be a downhill spiral. We want to see him recover and get the best like treatment that he can receive.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else want to address the court before I hear from the attorney? Yes, Ms. Nichols, you'll have to unmute there for me if you would like to speak.
Can you hear
There
me
you go,
now?
you got it.
Yes, ma'am. If you can raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Yes, ma'am. How are you related to Mr. Nathan?
Judge Mara, I am Nathan's sister. And I'm gonna just echo what has been said. He's never had a violent background whatsoever in his life. My brother decided to stop drinking alcohol, which I felt was a great thing. And instead of doing it getting help, professional help. He tried it on his own and decided to take another tried to substitute something else, which spiraled him into this psychosis state and became manic. And therefore, we had him, we had to have him committed. And we felt like, he went to Ridgeview and Smyrna, and we felt like he was doing good because he was on his medicines. He was getting back in touch with reality of things. So that's why we wanted him to come home. I don't have a problem with being around my brother. He has a big heart. This is not the Nathan Mack that we know. This man would give you the shirt off his back. All we want is just help for him so that he can come home and he's a gainful employee. And we just want him to be able to get the treatment that he needs for inpatient.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate all of y'all being here this afternoon. Mr. McLean, good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Honor. We can have our social worker talk to him about getting over to Tin Park. We can do various things, but we would concur with the signature bond idea with appropriate conditions. Sounds like he's a little bit off meds this time.
So what do you think are appropriate conditions, Mr. McLean?
Well, that the stay away we could do because he can stay with his sister. We did discuss that, so that's available. Perhaps no further violent contact, or the court could specify no in-person contact, but phone's okay. We can split the difference that way. But whatever the court feels is appropriate there, but we could refer him to Tin Park Place to get that evaluation done ASAP. That would be under his own power if the court allows him a signature bond.
I can't, I think that I'll need the social worker to visit with him first, and maybe if your social worker can get together with the family to see what services are available, so that if there are some services that are available, then through the family, then we'll know that. So I think what I want to do, Mr. McLean, is that I'm going to give him a good bond for now with a social worker visit. I'm not going to make him stay in custody for the 2 weeks until my SAP calendar, but I'll put this on my SAP calendar a week from Tuesday. Okay, so maybe a plan can be worked out between now and next Tuesday. So Ms. Bridgewater, would you make note that I want to put him on my SAP calendar on next Tuesday and revisit this bond if there's placement for him?
Yes, sir. I believe that's going to be October the 14th.
Okay, so October 14th, and it will be a $3,000 good bond at this point in time. I want the social worker to visit with him to see if we can get him some type of placement. No further, at this point, no further violent contact with Ms. Robin Mack. But I do want him to stay away from the Seville address until we get some type of placement for him. If necessary, a one-time escort to retrieve any belongings. Obviously, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. So I will see if he does not get out of custody, which means if no one bonds him out, then I will see him back personally myself a week from this Tuesday to see if we can get a plan in place for him to assist him. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor, 8 days, a week from tomorrow.
Yes, very good. And I'm happy to hear back from Ms. Amani, Ms. Deirdre, and Ms. Robin at that time too, if you all choose to come to that court hearing, okay? But Mr. McLean should be in touch with you all to see if the social worker can work with you all to find some type of placement, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
At least one phone. I've got at least one phone number for family, so I think that'll work.
Okay, good luck to you all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who do I have next?
Position 40, Mr. Wilburn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilburn. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006172B with simple assault. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 3 cycles. The last arrest was October the 25th, 2024, out of Holly Springs, Georgia, for possession of marijuana less than an ounce and possession of a firearm or a knife during commission of a felony. He does appear to have an open case pending in Fulton County for possession of cocaine and possession of a firearm or a knife during commission of a felony and theft by shoplifting. That case number is 25 SC 000857. And he appears to have that open case pending out of Holly Springs, Georgia, for possession of marijuana less than an ounce and possession of a firearm or a knife during commission of a felony. There are no other convictions. He does appear to meet the criteria for UJR level 2. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. On July 12th, 2025, at approximately 7 p.m., officers did respond to 3200 Cushman Circle in Southwest Atlanta. The reported party stated that her son assaulted both herself and the victim, and that he posed a serious threat to both their safety and that they were afraid of him. The incident, which began as a verbal argument, resulted in the defendant then throwing clothes, and ultimately later he threw a television at both the mother and daughter. I'm not mother and sister, his sister. Both the reporting party and the victim, they did leave the residence and called 911. And afterwards, the investigating officers reached out to the mother. She confirmed the event and positively identified her son as the suspect, as the one that threw the television at both her and her daughter. Officers then checked the residence and for the suspect for his arrest. Your Honor, as it relates to the recommendation of the state, you heard the criminal history, the fact that there is in fact an open case. As such, the state is recommending a surety bond in the amount of $3,000. We're asking that he stay away from 3200 Cushman Circle in Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, and that he has no further contact with the victims in this case at this time, who are Zakia, Glenn, and Zakia spelled, believe it's spelled in the report as ZAKAIAYAH. Glenn with 2 N's, and Bridget Wilbon. We're asking that he undergoes anger awareness while out on bond, and no drugs, alcohol, and weapons.
Any of either Ms. Glenn or Ms. Bridget are on the line and wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, 21-year-old Mr. Wilburn he's got his GEDs that shows initiative that he went to the effort to finish it all up. He does logistics. He helps to haul stuff around and makes his living that way at his young age. He has I'm sorry, how many years? 7 months. 7-month-old daughter, and he asked the court to grant him a bond, which is low as possible. A signature bond if it's possible, but if it's not, then a 1,000 if it's assured. Thank you.
Does he need to go back to that Cushman Circle address to retrieve any belongings, Mr. McLean?
No, Your Honor. He does not.
Okay, it'll be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victims, stay away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Wilburn.
Next, our positions 35 and 36, Mr. Smith. Michael Smith. Come on.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006160A with 2 counts of battery, and in case 25 CR 006182A with driving under the influence of alcohol and reckless driving. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 22 cycles. The last arrest was February the 25th, 2022, out of Habersham County, Georgia.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson, go ahead.
Okay, out of Habersham County, Georgia, for a probation violation. He does appear to be on probation in Habersham County for theft by taking. That disposition date was December the 4th, 2015, and the term is for 10 years. He has an additional open probation case in Fulton County. That case number is 23 SC 191079 for aggravated assault. That disposition date was June the 10th, 2025, and the term is for 5 years. He does have prior felony convictions, one in 2022 out of DeKalb County for burglary in the 2nd degree, one in 2017 out of Carroll County for burglary in the 2nd degree, one in 2014 out of Cobb County for fleeing or attempting to elude an officer, one in 2008 for possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, and possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, an aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. It's an additional one in 2008 for 2 counts of theft by receiving stolen property, one in 2006 for theft by receiving stolen property and theft by shoplifting. He does have a misdemeanor sentence and convictions. Received a nolo contendere sentence in 2021 for driving while license suspended or revoked. And there was a conviction in 2019 for obstruction of an officer and theft by taking. And there was one in 2018 for local ordinance. And he appears to meet the criteria for a UJR level 3. And he does appear to have an outstanding hold out of Clarksville, Georgia, for a probation violation. The date on that warrant is September the 11th, 2025. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. For the battery, law enforcement responded on June 2nd, 2025 to a domestic disturbance involving Michael Smith and Miss Wynn. Upon arrival, officers spoke with Miss Wynn, who reported that after she refused to give Mr. Smith $50, he took her phone, struck her in the face, causing a busted lip and chipped tooth, banged her head against the gear shift, and threatened to kill her and her children. She also stated he dragged her by her hair while she tried to receive her children from the vehicle. Given his lengthy history, active probations, and probation violations, we are asking for a $3,000 cash bond and for him to have no contact with the victim in that case. I will get her first name in a moment. But as far as the second case, the DUI and the reckless driving, Mr. Smith was stopped on October 5th, 2025, for DUI and reckless driving. We are asking for, given his history and probation violations, we are asking for a $3,000 surety bond on that one, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you here for this case, Ms. Wynn?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. My phone was muted. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. If you could raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I'm sorry. Actually, Michael supports me and my kids. I don't feel that the bond that the state is giving him is a good bond because actually what I did make a report, but it wasn't true. Michael is not the type of person everybody makes him out to be. I'm not gonna say he's violent, but he's not that violent. But like I said, Michael supports me and my family. Michael worked, he's trying to change, he's going through something, but I did make a false report. My chief has been shipped for years. I struck Michael first. So I do feel like he need a bond, but not a cash bond. And if he can get a lower bond, cause like I'm by myself and that was me and my kids' support. Like, and I don't want to stay away order because me and Michael are together.
Okay, well, with what you're telling me, Ms. Nguyen, I don't feel comfortable with Mr. Smith being around either you or the children at this point in time until he gets some help. And that's just based on what you have told me this afternoon and the allegations here. So regardless of what type of bond that I do end up giving him, I will just let you know until there's some type of intervention. I'm not going to have him around either you or or the kids at this time, especially the kids, because you're a grown person. You have some say in things. The kids don't. So your primary concern should be how you're raising those kids and in the household that you're raising them in, because they're gonna whatever they learn, they're gonna learn from you and their father. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, sir. Actually, Michael been in my baby's life since she was conceived, since she was born. I do recommend a alcohol class. I do. And anger management. I do recommend that because those are the type of things that he needs. But like I was saying, Judge, Your Honor, Michael has been in my kids' life since they were born, and that is my only support right now. Like, that's the only person I have. I don't have nobody but Michael. And I understand that my kids need to be in a safe environment. I understand that because they do. And me and Michael have talked about this several times. So yes, I do recommend that he get anger management and to take a alcohol class, some type of class for him drinking. But that is the only person that I have right now.
All right. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Nguyen. Ms. McLeod, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. According to the warrant, this incident with Miss Nguyen apparently happened sometime in early June, Your Honor. And speaking with my client, my understanding is that he and Miss Nguyen have been living together since this incident happened with no issues at all. It does deny the allegations, and it sounds like when I spoke with her, she told me also that what the warrant says was not accurate. I believe she just testified on the oath that the allegations in the warrant were false. But I would like to point out that it's not something that happened yesterday or the day before this. It, according to the warrant, happened in early June. So they have been living together since then. That is what she tells me, and that is what he also tells me, Your Honor. He's definitely not in a position to pay any kind of cash bond. So I would ask the court to consider giving him a surety bond. Or I believe I heard pretrial say that he was qualified for UJR at level 3. If the court would consider that, then that would be fine because he really is not in a position, based on what he tells me, although he's employed, to pay for bonds. If the court is not going to give him the UJR at level 3, then I would ask for the lowest possible surety bond. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. For the battery, I do want to have him monitored. So for each of the batteries will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. He is to have 12 anger management classes. He is to do drug evaluation and treatment if necessary. No further violent contact with Ms. Nguyen. And of course, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. As far as the DUI and the reckless go, for the DUI, it's a $1,500 good bond. For the reckless, a $500 good bond. Makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Thank you,
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I clarify one thing?
Yes, of course, Ms. McGill.
As far as, is there not a stay away condition for the incident location, Your Honor?
I'm having him have no further violent contact with
Okay.
Ms. Nguyen, but I do want him to start those anger management classes within the first 2 weeks of him being released. So if we can make a
Okay.
note of that. And I won't restrict him from the household at this point in time, but I do want him to start the classes and start the drug evaluation and treatment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank
Okay,
you, Your Honor.
you're welcome.
And
we
that
have-
concludes my business before the court. May I be excused?
That was quick and easy this afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
It
You have a
was.
good rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
Next is position 2, Mr. Anderson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 00613.
Item. Am I able to take this back with me or should I leave it here?
Can we please, Ms. Alexandra, you're not on mute there. I'm sorry, Mr. Anderson, you have been charged in case 25 CR 006132E with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history?
Yes, there are 30 cycles. The last arrest was September the 10th, 2025 in Fulton County for possession of controlled substance. It does appear to have an open case pending in Fulton County for criminal trespass and criminal damage to property. That case number is 25 CR 003917 and the letter E. He has additional open cases pending in Fulton County, one for battery and simple battery. That case number is 25 CR 005180 and the letter E. And the next case is for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. That case number is 25 PI 004494. And he appears to have an additional case of possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. That case number is 25 PI 007479. And the last case is 25 PI 004523 for terroristic threats and acts. He does have a prior felony sentence. He received first offender treatment in 2012 before during the first degree theft by taking 2 counts. That case was also criminal damage to property in the second degree and possession of tools for commission of a crime. That case was sealed September the 28th, 2020. There are misdemeanor convictions and a sentence. One in 2018 for obstruction of an officer, one in 2014 out of Clayton County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Received a nolo contendere sentence in 2013 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. And there was a conviction in 2013 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 3. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Ban.
Yes, Your Honor. The situation happened in which he was at the MARTA station and he spray painted a video camera, surveillance camera there. He had already been issued a suspension August 16th of 2025 for 365 days by MARTA. At this time, our bond recommendation is for $2,000 good bond on criminal trespass to property, stay away from all MARTA locations. As to the criminal trespass, $1,000 good bond, stay away from all MARTA locations. That's our recommendation at the time.
Thank you, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Anderson is 33 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He has his parents and a lot of family here in Georgia. He has a good mailing address. Actually, he lives there in Jonesboro, Georgia, with his parents. He has kept a steady job for the last 3 to 4 years at a company where he washes cars and does landscaping. I believe he already has a $3,500 surety bond on another case. So he would have to make that. And I would ask As he is recommended for bond through pretrial services at level 3, I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it does have to be at level 3, so that he chance of being released, because he already has a surety bond that he has to pay to get out.
Okay, for each charge, it'll be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. Stay away from MARTA, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. I'd like for him to have a social worker visit to assist with a BHET if necessary, or housing issues. I do want him placed on that SAP calendar in 2 weeks if he does not get out, and his other cases placed on that calendar as well, so that we can possibly address them all together. Miss Bridgewater, were you able to get those other
No,
case
sir.
numbers?
Someone would give them to me right now. Would appreciate it.
I believe they're 25 CR 003917E and 25 CR 00518E.
518E.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, we'll try that one.
All right, thank you. Good
Yeah.
luck to you, Mr. Anderson.
Next is position 3, Mr. All.
Good afternoon, Mr. All. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006158E with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 2 cycles. The last arrest was May the 18th, 2013, out of Johns Creek, Georgia, for a DUI. He does have 1 misdemeanor conviction. That charge was amended to a non-fingerprintable offense in 2013. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 1. Nothing in addition.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll make this brief because I'm recommending a signature bond for sake of time. I'm asking for a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2, that he has no further violent contact with his wife, Yufei, spelled Y-U-F-E-I, Song, S-O-N-G, and that he engages in anger awareness courses, Your Honor. And this will likely be a diversion offer. So if you would like to do the FBIP courses in lieu of the anger awareness, it would work towards the criteria for a diversion offer. But we have been in contact with the victim, and she is in agreement with this recommendation. So there's no stay away, just no further violent contact.
Ms. Song is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. If you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
Feel safe and not threatened by him, so I don't wish to pursue any future charges for this case. And he can come home.
Not in fear of him?
Sorry?
You're not in fear of him?
No.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. All is 34 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He's a high school graduate, also graduated from Georgia Tech and earned his master's degree at UGA. Of course, he is employed full-time. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. And due to the nature of the allegations here, I would object to an anger awareness and just, of course, no objection to the no violent contact. Nothing further.
Be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, no further violent contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Next is position 18, Mr. Hunter.
And this is David Hunter, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, very good. Good afternoon, Mr. Hunter. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006179A with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file, Your Honor. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. On October 4th of this year, law enforcement was dispatched to 5250 State Route 138 in Union City in reference to a domestic dispute. They made contact with the victim, Ms. Ariana Foster, who stated that her boyfriend, the defendant, whom she shares an apartment with, had slammed her on the ground multiple times. She sustained lacerations and bruisings on her arm. We are recommending a $3,000 unsecured bond, a 1 day of anger awareness, a stay away provision from the 5250 State Route 138 Union City address, and to have no further contact while out on bond. And at the appropriate time, I'd like to sound for Ms. Foster.
Yes, ma'am.
For me. Will you affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, ma'am. You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
He's a really good man. He just is going through a lot. I feel like he's under a lot of stress. I feel like maybe just anger management. I don't feel it necessary for him to not be able to come back to the place of residence, but no further violent contact would be nice. That's really all I have to say.
Has this ever happened before?
No,
And you want him in the household?
I do not feel unsafe with him being in the household.
Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon. Mr. Ty? You're
Yes,
welcome.
Your Honor, Mr. Hunter is 26 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He graduated from high school and studied music in college. He is gainfully employed full-time. This is his first arrest. He firmly denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. He tells me that he does not want contact and he's fine staying away. He would need a one-time law enforcement escort. And I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1, since he cannot sign out through the jail. And I would object to the 1 day anger awareness.
Okay. For the battery, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Since Mr. Hunter doesn't want contact, there will be no further contact with Ms. Foster. Stay away from the State Route 138 address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Ty, your client did have his hand up.
Well, I can speak with him, but I just, perhaps he's changed his mind about the contact. If that is the case, then I would ask to go with the state's recommendation and the complaining witness. I think that's probably why he's raising his hand. He's
You can
fine. I mean, I think that's what it is.
Okay, let me just ask him. Mr. Hunter, are you comfortable with having contact? Is that what you wanted to address with me?
Yeah, I love her. I've been with her a year and 9 months. I've never put my hands on her, so it's not like that. We good. It's just, I live with her, so it's not that serious.
So you would like to have contact? Is that what you're telling me? Is that a yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it will be no further violent contact and with no stay away. Good luck to you both.
Next is position 20, Mr. Ingram.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ingram. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006174G with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 16 cycles. The last arrest was January the 25th, 2022, out of Atlanta for possession of Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance. with the intent to distribute, and possession of Schedule 1 controlled substance, and possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. There was no disposition for that arrest, Your Honor. Well, I apologize. He appears to be on first offender probation for those charges. Case number is 23 SC 190-670 for possession of Schedule 1 controlled substance and possession of a firearm or knife during commission of a felony. That disposition date was April the 7th, 2025, and the term is for 5 years. It does appear to have an outstanding hold out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for a DUI. The date on that warrant was November the 13th, 2019. And he appears to have one that may be the current arrest. He does have prior misdemeanor sentences. He received a nolo contendere sentence in 2018 for giving false information to an officer. He received a nolo contendere sentence in 2018 out of Gwinnett County for giving false information to an officer. And there was a nolo contendere sentence in 2014 out of Fayette County for driving while license suspended or revoked. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Law enforcement were dispatched to 8096 Highland Trace in Fairburn, Georgia, in regards to an incident that occurred on July 4th of this year between Kinshasa Lina, the defendant, and another named Raquel James. She stated the victim, Miss Lina, Lynah is her last name. She advised that the accused did punch her 5 times in the stomach. After the defendant came home with her, they got into a dispute. He texted someone, and moments later, another person named Raquel James came, and that person punched her in the face, and the defendant was punching her in the stomach. When the police arrived, they noticed that she did have a swollen eye and a laceration on her forehead. She was transferred to Piedmont, Fayetteville. When asked why she didn't report it the night of the incident, she stated she was in and out of consciousness. Given the fact that the defendant is on probation and the seriousness of the charge, we are asking for a $3,000 secured bond for him to stay away from the 8096 Highland Trace Fairburn address, to have no further contact with Miss Kinshasa Lina, to consume no alcohol or drugs, and possess any weapons while out on bond, and to take a one-day anger awareness course, Your Honor.
Is on the line or wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. It's a time.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Ingram is 36 years old. He has lived in Georgia for about 20 years. He works in a family business and also in a restaurant. He has 2 minor children, ages 2 and 14. This incident allegedly occurred July 4th, 2025. He does firmly deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I believe he does qualify for a signature bond through pretrial services. I would be asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. He has no problem with the stay away and no further contact. His last arrest was in 2022, so I don't believe that, even though he's on probation, I don't think that would disqualify him from, being eligible for a signature bond. Nothing further.
Okay. Will be a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with Miss Lina, stay away from the Highland Trace address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. A one-time police escort if necessary to retrieve any belongings as well. Good luck to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon, Officer Milton.
Good afternoon. I did not see Anna Laura Morgan on the court calendar. I was wondering what was going on with her before I take her back.
believe her case was transferred to Superior Court. They did accept it, so it will need to be placed on first appearance for Superior Court on tomorrow.
Okay. Because she did go to felony court this morning, and she received a $3,000 bond. 1,500
Was that for the theft by shoplifting?
Yes, sir.
If I may, she had 2 theft by shopliftings. One they charged as a misdemeanor. And in fact, the incidents occurred at the same time, so they accepted the second case.
Thank you, Ms. Evans Battle.
Okay. She only see one for theft by shoplifting. That was the only case.
I think by the time they accepted it, we were too late to put it on their first appearance calendar for today at 11. So we're going to ask that it go on their first appearance calendar for tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Judge Morrow, I don't know if you can address bond, just bond only in that, but they have accepted it.
Well, if they've already accepted it, has a transfer order been signed?
I don't think we had to do a transfer order because we didn't accuse it. They accepted it prior to accusal.
Oh, okay. So they'll hear it tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Go to position 33, Mr. Robinson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Robinson. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006190E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 32 cycles. The last arrest was January the 23rd, 2024, out of Henry County for a probation violation. It does appear to be on probation in Fulton County. That case number is 19 SC 169464 for aggravated assault. That disposition date was December the 14th, 2019. The term is for 9 years. He does have prior felony convictions. One in 2008 out of Chatham County for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. One in 2004 out of Chatham County for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. It's an additional one in 2004 out of Chatham County for cruelty to children in the first degree. One in 2003 out of Chatham County for cruelty to children in the first degree. One in 2001 out of Chatham County for possession of controlled substance and possession of controlled substance with the intent to distribute. And there are misdemeanor convictions, one in 2021 out of Henry County for fleeing or attempting to elude an officer and giving false information to an officer and driving without a valid license. One in 2008 out of Chatham County for giving false information to an officer. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 3. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case on October 3rd of 2025, the officers responded to 875 Conley Road in an apartment there with Miss LaTanya Robinson, who is his wife, being the victim in this particular case. They were arguing about text messages going back and forth with another person and indicated that some money was involved. And so in reference to a coworker of Miss Robinson's, Mr. Robinson became angry about it and continued to tirade. Eventually, she went into a restroom, and when she came out, he hit her in the face a couple of times. As a result, she had an injury to her mouth. And based on the information that the court has received, we're asking for a bond in the amount of $2,000, that he have no further contact with Ms. Robinson at this time, stay away from 875 Conley Road as a condition of his bond. That would be our recommendation.
Mayor Warner.
Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, Mr. Robinson is 47. Substantial high school, went through the 10th, 17 plus years as a painter now. We would ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond here, emphasizing that it is one count. We would ask that if a signature bond is possible, we would ask for it. If it's not possible, then a 1,000 surety would be our request.
Will be a $2,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Robinson. Stay away from the Conley Road address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Robinson.
Next is position 25, Ms. McGill.
Good afternoon, Ms. McGill. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006163E with simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 5 cycles. The last arrest was January the 10th, 2024, out of Albany, Georgia, for a probation violation. It does appear to have an open case pending out of Albany, Georgia, for cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, and battery, family violence, and simple battery, and disorderly conduct. Also, there appears to be an outstanding hold out of Albany, Georgia, for a failure to appear. The date on that warrant is June the 3rd, 2025. Does have prior misdemeanor sentence that was in 2023 out of Daugherty County, Georgia, for criminal trespassing. And there is 1 misdemeanor conviction in 2006 out of New York for assault in the 3rd degree. Nothing, he does appear to meet the criteria. She does, I apologize, for UJR level 3, nothing in addition.
Seconds back.
Yes, Your Honor, in this particular case, Officer Jones was working at the Greyhound bus station at 232 Forsyth Street. And he was asked for a passenger to be removed from the bus. And as he explained to Ms. McGill, that it was the bus driver's decisions and the rules about where the baggage should be on the bus. She did not accept that. When she saw Mr. Henry Malone, the victim in this case, who was a bus driver, she ran over to him and tackled him and started hitting on him. The current bond, Your Honor, is set at $4,000. My concern has been is one, I was just kind of looking at her history, and I know she has some New York history. But as well, this was a transit bus operator, a Greyhound bus operator. So the bond is currently set at $4,000 surety bond. I ask that it remain as set.
Mr. Henry Malone is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, she was passing through Atlanta at the bus terminal because she had to come to Georgia to see about her child custody type cases. And that was in what county?
I was going to Dougherty County.
Dougherty County, which, hold on, please. Albany, which is Dougherty County. That's what I thought. So she was down there in South Georgia and passing through Atlanta just on this. Is unfortunate dispute at the bus station here in Atlanta. She's a CNA, a certified nursing assistant, high school education plus that certification. She takes care of her grandmother who has bad dementia, and therefore that grandmother cannot step forward. That grandmother is the person with a Georgia address. That grandmother can't step forward and make a bond for her. So she's kind of stuck. Her sister is in North Carolina in Rocky Mount. So I'm trying to figure out, we would request under these circumstances, any way to figure out a way to give her a signature bond or a $10 cash bond, if that's not possible because of any disqualification. Thank you.
It's going to be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the Greyhound bus station unless she has a valid ticket. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Judge,
Good luck to you, Ms. McGill.
I'm sorry, would you please repeat that bond?
Yes, 1,000 good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is position 41, Ms. Williams.
Sit there first.
Good afternoon, Ms. Williams. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006175C with simple battery family violence. So your history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file, Your Honor. Appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 1. Nothing in addition.
Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. On October the 5th of 2025, there was a domestic dispute at 1935 Allison Court apartment. The victim in this particular case is Kimberly Williams, who is the mother of the defendant. She is pregnant, 8 months pregnant at the time. It's my understanding that Miss Williams became agitated, started shouting, throwing a chair, and hit and kicked Miss Williams, Kimberly Williams, in the stomach 3 times. I will say we've had an opportunity. I'm not sure if Miss Williams will be on the call today and speaking with her. And although she initially reported that this was intentional, she has therefore changed her mind and wanted contact. But our recommendation remains a $3,000 surety bond, stay away with no further contact. And if the court is so inclined to have her complete any other conditions such as the Family Violence Intervention Program, ask for that she stay away from the home location mentioned previously.
And Skip, since I'm the line that wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Williams. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I would like to say that this is my daughter first time. We not from Georgia. She been around the wrong people. She really don't have nothing to do. She just turned 17, so she started to smell herself, getting really very disrespectful. I feel like she learned her lesson being in there. She did call me crying. She thought that it was a joke being in jail. I tells my daughter about jail, about stealing. All I do is try to tell her to clean up and her hygiene and just trying to make her a better person because she is growing into an adult. Right now, I am 8 months pregnant. I'm trying to move out of my apartment. I cannot afford a bond for her at all. I do need her to get out. I am safe with her. I feel like she learned the lesson, and now she knows she's 17, getting charged as an adult. She start acting like that again, she will. I'll be in there. So I hope this is a lesson learned from her. But I do believe she learned her lesson.
And you say she's 17. Is she in school?
Yes, she is. She's a junior in high school.
Does she participate in any activities?
Yeah, she's doing track.
She have an after-school job?
No, she do not. And I've been trying to get her help with that. But she can have stay busy and start doing positive things because she's been around the wrong crowd.
And Ms. Williams, you do want her back in your household? Is that what you're telling me? You're not afraid of her?
Yeah, I'm not afraid of her. We got a brand new 2-bedroom apartment. She just needs this is a lesson learned. These kids, they start growing up, start smelling themselves. Now you see what jail is. So now she knows. She start acting up again, that's what she's going to be at.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Williams.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. McLean.
Thank you. Your Honor, her favorite subject in high school at Benjamin Mays is history, U.S. history, and she did have a job before in Des Moines with her cousins and grandmother. She was working at the laundry there, so she's not averse to work. We would ask the court to figure out getting her home on a signature bond. If I don't have I don't have Mrs. Williams' email to send her a link on any required co-sign if that's necessary, however.
Given Ms. Williams' situation, I'm not going to require a co-signer. But anything further, Mr. McLean? Okay, will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Kimberly Williams. She's to stay in high school. She is to have a curfew. She is to be in by 9 p.m. and cannot leave until 6 a.m. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Next is position 15, Ms. Doolin.
Good afternoon, Ms. Doolin. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006156B with simple battery family violence. Is there a history? Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior history on file, Your Honor. She appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Who's presenting for the state? Ms. Evans Battle, Ms. McGill, Mr. Rhodes.
What's the name again, Your Honor?
Position 15, Doolin, D-U-L-A-N.
Right. Ms. McGill, is that your case?
No.
Make sure it's not. Your Honor, if you can move on. Give me 1 second. Your Honor, if we can come back to that position, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't know who case that is.
Just make sure, Ms. Evans Battle, are you on the line with me?
I am. I don't have it. I was just trying to look it up.
Okay. Can we go to someone else while they prepare
Go
their
to
case?
position 12, Mr. Crane.
Good afternoon, Mr. Crane. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006186D with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 25 cycles. The last arrest was August the 10th, 2025 in Fulton County for a probation violation. He does appear to have an open case pending with the city of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting. There was no case number provided. It looks more like a reference number. There are prior felony convictions. One in 2012 for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. One in 2006 for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. One in 1996 for the violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Received first offender treatment in 1988 out of Clayton County for theft by taking. That case was sealed July the 6th, 2017. There's one misdemeanor conviction that was in 2012 for criminal trespassing. And he appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 3. Nothing in addition.
Yes, Your Honor. This event stemmed from October 4th of this year. Officers were dispatched to a criminal trespass at 1030 White Oak Ave in Atlanta, Georgia. When they arrived, they immediately saw the male identified as Mr. Ricky Crane. He was irate in the front yard of that location. When they attempted to speak with Mr. Crane, he basically advised to them that he lived there and would not leave, even though they keep taking him to jail for being at that location. I'm personally familiar with Ricky Crane and the victim, Peter Utomwin. because he has been arrested at the location on multiple occasions, Your Honor. Essentially, when they spoke with Mr. Peter Utomwin, the victim in the case, he told them, law enforcement, that the defendant had just recently gotten out and returned out of jail and returned back to the location almost immediately upon release. I do know in the past that his presence at the location has resulted in damage to property at the location as well. Mr. Crane did verify the trespass status, and he was arrested on August 10th of 2025 for the same charge, with the same signed documentation presented to Mr. Utomwin, who's the victim in the case. So on this day, he was taken into custody as well for criminal trespass. Your Honor, at this point, because of the repeated going back to the property and in instances damaging the property, it is amounting to harassment for Mr. Peter Utomwin. I don't know if he's able to join us today. I do know that he's joined this court in the past, specifically about this defendant continuing to trespass on that property. As such, Your Honor, I don't believe that he is a good candidate for a signature bond through pretrial services, especially given the history that you just heard from pretrial services. So we're asking for a $2,000 good bond, and that he has no further contact with Peter Utomwin, and that he stay away from 1030 White Oak Ave Southwest in Atlanta, Georgia. And perhaps a social work visit to determine whether or not he's homeless or not. And for purposes of behavioral health evaluation and/or treatment if necessary. Your Honor, on the open cases, we will likely file motions with the divisions to revoke bond in those cases as well, given the continuous harassment. Thank you, Judge.
How many I didn't hear from pretrial about this, Mr. Rhodes. How many open cases does he have with state court here?
I'm about to research those now, Judge. As you're speaking with defense, I'll look those up, Judge.
And if Mr. Utomwin is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Crane is 54 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He tells me he's been homeless pretty much all his life. He tells me that he does stay employed doing landscaping in the surrounding neighborhoods in Atlanta. He tells me that this is an abandoned house, and that he just does find himself having to get shelter to get out of the rain, Your Honor. I believe that, his arrest stemmed from the problem of homelessness. I don't see any violent history. I heard, very old cases, possession of marijuana, theft by shoplifting, and then, of course, this criminal trespass. If his other bonds are revoked, then he will not be able to get out. Any bond at all, he would not be able to afford, Your Honor. So, but right now he's only held on this criminal trespass. If Your Honor would consider a signature bond through pretrial services, I heard that he is recommended at level 3. If not, it's essentially no bond for him. He can't afford anything. So, nothing further.
And Your Honor, thanks for the brief moment. I will give you what I have in terms of the cases. So 24 CR 006333C, the offense date was September 6, 2024. He's currently on probation for that particular case. That was a criminal trespass that involved the same victim. There was a stay away in that case from 1030 White Oak Ave in Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. Just want to give you the conviction date on that. Wait one moment, I'll give you the conviction date on that. That case was pled on September 26th of 2024. So it may be that that case is no longer under sentence, but it did in fact involve the same victim. And in addition to that case, he had 25 CR 004611C, Your Honor. That was a case that involved the same victim, Peter Utomwan, and it involved the same location of 1030 Oak Street. And it looks like that case received a null pros. So it doesn't appear to be any open cases, just harassment of the same victim at the same location and damage to that property. Mr. Utomwan has called our office on several occasions about not being able to recoup from the damage to the property that's been caused by this defendant. And so here we are again in October of 2025 with the same victim and the same defendant at the same property. And, I suggest that that the defense help out with a social worker to address the homelessness. Mr. Utomwan shouldn't have to continuously be harassed about that particular issue, and he's been harassed at this point, Judge.
I do want him to have a social worker visit to assist with housing, and the BHET. For now, it'll be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the White Oak address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. I'll see him back at the SAP calendar. If we can put some type of plan together, I'm happy to reconsider that. But I think that Mr. Crane needs some type of assistance at this point. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, if we could go back to Miss Dooland, I apologize about that. I did have her case.
Okay, that's fine. And tell me what position that was again, please.
15.
Oh, thank you. Right, so we found out I'd already addressed Miss Doolin. It was her first arrest. Yes, Miss McGill.
So on October 5th of this year, law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute call from 102 City View Court Northeast. They made contact with the victim, Mr. Michael Smith, who stated that the defendant started to argue with him the day before, which continued on the day of the incident about a text message she saw in his phone. The argument escalated when he was cooking to when she approached him and knocked the knife out of his hand and slapped him, which prompted him to start recording the incident and call 911. He showed the officers the recording. She also threw a glass at the wall during this encounter, and the glass shattered throughout the kitchen. The parties have been living together for about 7 months. Given that this is her first arrest, we are recommending a $3,000 unsecured bond to have no further contact with the victim in this case, Mr. Michael Smith, and a stay away provision stay away from 102 City View Court Northeast, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, you certainly don't have to, but if you would like to address the court, I need you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. If you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I just want to say I don't think Rael is a violent person at all. The initial call was just to diffuse the situation because it escalated to that point where neither one of us were at the point of diffusing the situation. But I'm not afraid of her. I'm not like fearing for my life or anything like that. It was more so just to diffuse the situation and de-escalate. I think she should be able to come back here and be able to collect her things and figure out her next move. I don't really think that no contact should be necessary. Again, I don't think she's a violent person. She's probably had poor decision making in that moment, and it ended up here. But the initial call again was to de-escalate and also to just make sure I'm protecting myself and I'm making sure she doesn't do anything that could lead to something being further down the line. But again, I don't think she's a violent person. I think she should be able to come back and come get her things and make her next move.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I appreciate you being here this afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor, as you heard, Ms. Doolin, this is her first arrest. She's 29 years old. She is a Georgia resident. She graduated from high school, attended college, worked as an interior designer. I have no objection to a signature bond through pretrial services. I think it should be at level 1 since this is her first arrest. And we would ask for no violent contact and no stay away.
Okay, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Mr. Smith. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Next is position 8, Mr. Carter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carter. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006178Y with simple assault. Is there a history? Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor. There are 6 cycles. The last arrest was April the 2nd, 2025 out of Coweta County, Georgia, for 2 counts of terroristic threats and acts and criminal trespassing and simple battery. That case appeared to be still pending. He does have a prior misdemeanor conviction. It was in 2018 out of Gwinnett County for driving while license suspended or revoked. He appears to meet the criteria for a UJR level 2. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rich?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll try to make this brief because I'm in agreement with the well, let me back up. I'm asking for a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1 or 2, Your Honor, and no further contact with Willie Brantley, and to stay away from 3755 Red Wine Drive, apartment number 4105 in East Point, Georgia 30344, and that he undergoes alcohol drug evaluation and treatment. Your Honor, this stemmed from an October 2nd, 2024 event. At 10:45 p.m., officers were called to the 3755 Red Wine Drive location. Upon arrival, they made contact with Mr. William Brantley, who stated that the accused is a resident there. It is a rehab facility. He stated that Mr. Brantley is the person that's actually over the housing facility. He's the program director. Mr. Brantley was made aware by others that the accused, Mr. Carter, was intoxicated while at the facility, at the rehab, which was in violation of the rules at the house. And he forced him to pretty much give him a urine sample. He did give that urine sample and he tested positive for alcohol. Mr. Brantley stated that once he confronted him about the positive test or the failed test, that's when the defendant became very irate. He became loud, aggressively and forcibly pushing him in his chest with both hands. Officers also spoke with a witness who was there. His name was Mr. Willie Woods, who stated that he witnessed the accused push Mr. Brantley after being confronted about the positive urine sample. Your Honor, given that this defendant is already has an open terroristic threats, April 2025 terroristic threats, and he does have a total of 6 cycles on the GCIC. That is the basis against our, we are still recommending that he has a signature bond. We're asking that it be through pretrial services level 1 or 2, and that he has no further contact with William Brantley and that stay away from that location at this time. And that because this was all alcohol related, that he undergo alcohol drug evaluation and treatment. Thank you, Judge.
Has your office talked to Mr. Brantley?
We did. We were in contact with Mr. Brantley. I don't know if he was able to make it on, but our victim advocate spoke with him this morning. He did in fact say that at this time, no further. He didn't want him back at the facility.
Okay, so he's not welcome back at that facility.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, Mr. Ty. Oh, well,
Yes.
if this if Mr. Brantley's on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. I'm sorry. Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Carter is 31 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He earned his high school diploma. He is not working right now because he is dedicating his time right now to working through, well, checking himself into the rehab facility and working on those issues, Your Honor. I have no objection to a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. He would need a one-time law enforcement escort to gather his belongings from that rehab facility. I would object to the ADET just because, clearly he is working on these things himself, and I don't believe it needs to be under the supervision of the courts. And nothing further.
All right, will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. No further contact with Mr. Brantley. Stay away from the incident location. You can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Since I am ordering no drugs or alcohol while out on bond, I'm also going to have him have random screens to make sure that he's not violating my order. So I'm not going to require ADET at this time, but if your random screens come up that you're positive for alcohol or drugs, Mr. Carter, this bond can be revoked. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 9, Mr. Clark.
Good afternoon, Mr. Clark. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006181Y with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, there are 12 cycles. The last arrest was January the 31st, 2020, out of Charlotte, North Carolina for a probation violation. There are prior felony convictions. Well, yes. There's one in 2015 out of North Carolina. It was a federal conviction of possession of heroin with the intent to distribute. It's one in 2008 out of North Carolina for possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute. They received a nolo contendere sentence in 2005 for possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute. It's one in 1999 out of North Carolina for possession of cocaine. Appears to meet the criteria for UJR 2, nothing in addition.
Yes, Your Honor, very briefly, we would in fact endorse the signature bond. This was family violence, so we would not endorse it through the jail, but we would ask for it to be through pretrial services level 1. I do believe he lives in the state of North Carolina. He does not live here. I would concur with pretrial services that the bulk of his cycles were out of North Carolina and they were mostly possession with intent charges. I didn't see anything violent. We have been in contact with, I believe we have been in contact with Mr. Clark's wife. Her name is Daya, DaaiYah. Sorry about that. I hear echo. Clark is the last name. We're just asking that he has no further violent contact with Ms. Daya Clark. And if he wishes to, he can enroll in FVIP because that's what we will require for his case to be diverted in a diversion program. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Clark is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Some time.
Yes, Your Honor. I have no objection to the signature bond through pretrial services at level 1 with no violent contact. No objection.
There will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Ms. Clark. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 16, Mr. Ferguson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ferguson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006176Y with simple assault family violence. Is there a history?
Yes, I'm just pulling the file, Your Honor. Yes, there are 6 cycles. The last arrest was July the 13th, 2011, out of Gwinnett County for terroristic threats and acts and simple assault. He does have misdemeanor conviction. There was one in 2012 out of Gwinnett County for disorderly conduct, one in 2008 out of Florida for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Pearson meet the criteria for a UJR level 2. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. On July 13th of 2025, law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute that occurred early in the day, that day, 3154 Daleview, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. They spoke to the victim, Miss Alexandra Victor Paul, who advised that her sister's husband, Mr. Atreal Ferguson, the defendant, was waving a firearm inside the residence. She stated that her mother allowed her sister to come to the residence to pick up a vehicle from the house. She heard yelling downstairs, and saw her brother-in-law brandishing a firearm and waving a firearm. She videoed the incident. And in the video, the defendant can be seen bringing the slide of the gun to the rear to put a bullet in the chamber. The victim stated that Mr. Ferguson stated that when my family comes around, we're all going to chill. And he tried to get the victim, Miss Alexander Victor Paul, and her husband to come see him. The defendant is the brother-in-law to the victim, and at one point they all lived together. Given his prior arrest and the seriousness of the charge, the prior arrest being the 2012 disorderly conduct that was amended from a simple assault, and the 2011 reckless conduct and terroristic threats charge, we are asking for a $3,000 secured bond, 1-day anger awareness, to stay away from the incident location and to have no further contact with the victim in this case, and to consume no alcohol or drugs and possess no weapons for bond.
Paul is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Ferguson is 38 years old. He has lived in Georgia for 12 years. He works full-time. He has one minor child. I mean, the history is all old. His last arrest was in 2011, and he does firmly deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, where he's not charged with reckless conduct, brandishing a weapon. He's charged with simple assault, family violence. The alleged victim is his sister-in-law. He doesn't see her. This happened allegedly happened in July 2025. He hasn't seen her since. There's no objection to no further contact. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. He is recommended at level 2, but I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. No further contact, stay away, nothing further.
Bond, a pretrial level 1, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from her residential address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond, which means you'll have to relinquish all firearms. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, could you please repeat the amount? I did not hear the amount.
Okay, 5,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, ACDC is next with position 1, Ms. Akeem.
And let me just go ahead and address everyone again. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen in courtroom 2. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Ms. Akil, you've been charged in case 25 CR 006153D with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. I didn't get that position.
Position number 1.
Thank you.
You're
Just a
welcome.
moment.
Yes, sir.
It's one prior cycle. The last arrest was August the 16th, 2023 with the city of Atlanta for battery. That case appeared to be still pending in Fulton County. That case number is 23 CR 005011 and the letter D. She's recommended for a UJR level 2, nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
I'm sorry, what was the date of the last offense, if I may, Your Honor?
2023 was my understanding.
August the 16th, 2023.
Okay, thank you so much. This one, Judge, was October 20th of 2023. Because of that, Your Honor, I don't want to belabor the facts. It was with her sister, a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. She does, because it is family violence, we are not recommending a UJR. No further violent contact with. Her sister's name is Nia Duncan. Nia Duncan. And that's it, Judge. We recommend a signature bond.
Ms. Duncan is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Any objection to any of that, Ms. Atai?
No, Your Honor, the signature bond at level 1, and I didn't hear no contact or
No further violent contact.
no violent contact. And Your Honor, I know that you typically don't address failure to appear, but she is currently held on a $5,000 FTA in the 23 CR 005011D. The notice was sent to the wrong address, Your Honor. Her address in Odyssey and on her license is 19 Westlake, and the notice was sent to 190. So I would ask either the state to null pros that FTA so she doesn't have to pay.
I'd have to research that, Mr. Ty. I don't mind doing that if the judge wants to take it up today, but I know we normally don't today. But if you want to take it up today, I could research that because I would hate for her to be held on if the address was wrong.
Okay, I appreciate that.
It was bad notice. I wouldn't want her to be held either.
Yes, and that case, by the way, was in diversion, but the notice was not sent to the correct address.
All right, I'll look at that, Judge. Can we?
Okay, and Ms. Bridgewater, what are you gonna need if they do that?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Mr. Rose, you're just gonna null process it if.
She'll probably just need a null process on that case. That's correct.
Okay, so you understand what's happening, Ms. Bridgewater? You will get a null process on another case, but they'll send you the case number.
Okay, no problem.
So that you can get it to me so that if there's an agreement between the state and Ms. Atai, then I'm happy to sign it.
And as we move on, if she could just stay in the court, that would be great. So I could research it and let the court know later. I'll do it in between these sessions.
All right. So as such, for the battery, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the cruelty, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Ms. Duncan. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. As far as the other matter, Ms. Akil will be back with you once we've researched that. Okay. Good luck to you, ma'am. Who do we have next?
Next is position 22, Mr. Commit Kush.
Good afternoon, Mr. Commit Kush. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006168C with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file, Your Honor. You appear to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. It is alleged that on December 16th of 2024, law enforcement responded to a domestic call located at 2400 Parkland Drive Northeast, in which the victim, Mayel Kimbrough Meyer, reported that her boyfriend, the defendant, her and her boyfriend got into an argument about his possession of marijuana in her apartment. She stated that she went to the cabinet to grab the marijuana. The defendant pushed her from behind. She ran onto the balcony and grabbed her by the neck. And he grabbed her by the neck and pinned her against the wall in an attempt to retrieve the marijuana. They've lived at the mentioned location together for at least 2 years. Given that this is his first arrest, we are recommending a $3,000 unsecured bond, 1-day anger awareness, a stay away from the 2400 Parkland Drive Northeast address, and to have no further contact with the victim, Ms. Mayel Kimbrough Meyer. And if she is on the line and wishes to claim otherwise or wishes to speak, then I ask that Your Honor sound for her. Thank you.
If Ms. Meyer is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. What was the full name again, Ms. McGill?
It was Mayel Kimbrough Meyer. Last name KIMBROUGH Meyer MEYER.
Does not appear that she's with us. Mr. McLean?
Thank you. Thank you. Your Honor, we have no objection to the signature bond. Probably, well, without her being present, I can't really go there. I did not reach her myself, and so I can't guarantee no further violent contact versus the other. He asked the court to give him a signature bond, and he understands about the class.
Okay. It will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. At this time, no further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential address. If necessary, he can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is position 29, Mr. Parker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Parker. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006192A with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, there's one prior cycle that was on December 30th, 2007 in Jackson County, Florida, for attached registration license plate not assigned, a misdemeanor. There was no disposition for that arrest. He does appear to meet the criteria for a UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. October the 5th of 2025, Mr. Parker, who is the father of Miss Cherokee Corral's children, and they were at the apartment, and he shoved her and pulled her hair, and she was observed to have bruising around her neck. She had indicated that she was going to church apparently, and Mr. Parker wanted her to take the children with her, and she didn't want to do that. So he started moving her things, removing her things. He initially alleged that she had hit him, but later changed his statement. We did have an opportunity to hear from the victim, or at least speak with the victim today. And she had indicated to us that he does financially support them, and she wants further contact with him. It's her belief that because of his strength this incident happened. And he needs therapy and evaluation before he returns home. So our recommendation is for a $3,000 signature bond, that he completes anger management, that he also have a BHET, and that at this particular time, although she may have indicated that they could have contact, we're still asking for no further contact, stay away from the 1270 West Peachtree Street location, third party transfer, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Thank you, Your Honor.
What is her name again, Miss Evans Battle?
It's Cherokee Carroll, CACORRAL.
Ms. Carroll is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Your Honor. He's, Mr. Parker's 37 years old. He intends to defend the case in a way where it does not sound like the anger management or the BHET would be necessary at all. But, Your Honor, he does agree with the idea of the signature bond. He does have, he's in engineering, topographical engineering work, writing professional criteria in his business. He's been through 4 different years of college, resulting in a business management designation in Arizona.
And it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. At this point in time, no further contact with the alleged victim. He's to stay away from her residential address. Third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation. One-time escort, police escort to retrieve any belongings if necessary. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, Your Honor. Yes, I'm here, Cherokee. I was just able to get my camera.
Okay, if you raise your right hand. I believe it's the other hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Yeah, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I just would like to say that as long as he can promise to be no longer violent and be civil, because we share a home with our children, he would be welcome back in the home with these stipulations.
Okay, well, I've already ruled at this point until further till further time, he's not to have any further contact with you. Okay, so if he goes out and gets some help and you all want to petition the court to modify this, you can in the future. But as far as it is concerned at the present time, there should be no further contact and third-party transfer of the minor children. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck. Good luck to you both.
Your Honor, what level was that, please?
Level 1.
Thank you.
Who do we have next?
Position 17, Miss Francis.
Good afternoon, Ms. Francis. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006165D with battery family violence, simple battery family violence, hindering persons making an emergency telephone call, and disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file, Your Honor. She appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail, nothing in addition.
Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. It's alleged on October 3rd, 2025, law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute that occurred at 2155 Point View Drive, Apartment L, East Point. Law enforcement made contact with the victim, Antonio Gardner, who stated that he returned to the apartment and saw the defendant, his roommate, engaged intimately with another female, and she became angry and struck him in the head and on the back, causing a laceration and the bruise on his shoulder. He attempted to call 911 and she struck him in the head, in the back of the head, to prevent him from calling 911. In the officer's presence, the defendant was very belligerent and continued to walk toward the victim, getting in his personal space and cursing at him. After the defendant was Mirandized, she did tell law enforcement that she knew the victim was making a 911 call, and she struck him because she was angry about what he was telling the dispatcher. Given that this is her first arrest, we are asking for a $3,000 unsecured bond, 1-day anger awareness course, that she stay away from 2155 Point View Drive, and that she have no further contact with the victim, and that she consume no alcohol or drugs and possess no weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
Whoever's on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Francis is 38 years old. As you heard, this is her first arrest. She has lived in Georgia for the last 8 years. She was arrested on the 3rd, and she states that she's missed 3 days of work and likely lost her job at the airport. She does support 3 children, 2 minor children, 14 and 9. She has no objection to no further contact and a stay away, but she would need a one-time law enforcement escort to return to that location and retrieve her phone and car keys. And no objection to the signature bond through pretrial services at level 1, Your Honor.
Okay, for the battery, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the other charges, a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from his residential address. One-time police escort to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Francis.
Next is position 30, Mr. Pearson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pearson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006184F with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm just pulling the file. There are 29 cycles. The last arrest was February the 4th, 2025 in Fulton County for aggravated assault. Does appear to be on probation in Fulton County. The case number is 25 SC 001450 for aggravated assault. That disposition date was July the 15th, 2025. The term is for 4 years. There are prior felony convictions. It's one in 2011 for possession of marijuana possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. One in 2010 for theft by taking. One in 2008 out of Clayton County for forgery in the first degree. One in 2003 out of DeKalb County for theft by receiving stolen property. There are misdemeanor convictions. One in 2010 out of Clayton County for simple battery family violence. One in 2008 for theft by shoplifting. One in 2004 for theft by shoplifting. An additional one in 2004 for obstruction of an officer. And he appears to meet the criteria for a UJR level 3. Nothing in addition.
Thank you, Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, this occurred on October the 5th of 2025. The officers were dispatched to 174 Troy Street in Atlanta. Mr. Pearson was in a verbal dispute with the victim in this particular case, Miss Crystal Wallace, because he, over a cell phone, he took her head and hit it up against the wall. She had a bloody nose, red marks on her hands and on her legs. She was drinking a beer. He took the beer, he threw the beer on her. The officer indicated that they could smell the beer on her as well. There was a roommate that indicated they heard arguing and banging noises. Mr. Pearson is currently on probation for aggravated assault. It was a strangulation case in which Ms. Wallace is the victim in that particular case. She has indicated that he has done this and choked her at least 3 times before. And although she is indicating that she does not fear him, I'm not sure if she's going to be on the call today, and wishes him to return home. It's my understanding they have no children together. And so our recommendation is for a $5,000 surety bond in this particular case, in light of the current circumstances with the actions that took place on that day and the fact that he's on probation with her for the same similar offense, that there be no further contact and that he stay away from 174 Troy Street in Atlanta, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while under bond. Thank you.
Ms. Crystal Wallace is in the line. Just the court now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, he has high school education. He's been a painter and a sheetrock worker for many years. He has a stable address on Wells on 30311 zip code, so it's away from there. So there's no problem with the stay away. We would ask the court to set the bond as low as possible. We do understand the import of the cycles, but the formulation under the public safety assessment did come out as UJR, so we would ask the court to follow that.
Your $5,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Wallace, stay away from her residential address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 32, Mr. Rios Bay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rios Bay. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006188E with criminal trespass and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history?
Your Honor, there are no prior arrests on file. He does appear to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Ms. Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. We this particular case, Officer Bui charged him because on October the 4th, he took paint and wrote an orange graffiti over a power box on Capitol Avenue. It's on the corner of Capitol Avenue and MLK Drive in front of the state capitol. They were asking for, he was failing to provide the information. Actually, we're able to show him on videotape surveillance the incident. The recommended bond is $1,000 surety, not surety, signature bond, that he stay away from that location, which is the corner of Capitol Avenue and MLK Drive. That includes if he's catching a bus, he could, walk down the street, catch it somewhere else. That would be our recommendation at this time.
Your Honor, he is 26 years old. We understand what the charges are about. We see those things there. But Your Honor, since he has no priors, we would ask the court to consider a signature bond. He is high school, 11th grade. He's been through the 11th grade in high school and will finish later. He has a job at a major sports venue. He supervises restaurant logistics at one of our major arenas.
Given that the recommendation was a signature bond, for each charge will be a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Next is position 34, Mr. Simmons.
Good afternoon, Mr. Simmons. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006159F with criminal trespass. Is there a history? Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file, Your Honor. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR Level 1. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. On October 3rd, 2025, Officer Rocco observed Mr. Simmons before you jumped onto the westbound train tracks at the 5 Point MARTA station, a restricted area. Officer Rocco detained Simmons and identified him via his Georgia ID and transported him to the central precinct. A records check revealed no active warrants, but confirmed an active MARTA criminal trespass prohibiting from being on the MARTA property. Given that this is his first arrest, we will consent to a $500 signature bond. We will ask for a stay away from the 5 Points MARTA station, consistent with any bans. And that's all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McLean, does he need a social worker visit to assist with housing or anything of that nature?
Your Honor, he's very soft-spoken, but other than being extremely soft-spoken, I did not get any other, shall we say, vibes or reason. It wouldn't hurt, but there's no reason not to. If it wouldn't delay his getting out, we would ask for that same signature bond.
Do you need assistance with housing, Mr. Simmons? If so, we can get you some assistance with housing if need be. Is that something that you need, sir?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And that was a no, is that right?
Was a no.
All right, so it'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail, given that this is his first criminal trespass. Apparently, he's to abide by any MARTA restrictions and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Simmons.
Next is position 38, Mr. Weller.
Don't lose.
Good afternoon, Mr. Weller. If you need to speak with counsel, you go ahead and do it. I can wait a moment if you need to speak with him.
Which page goes with which person? Thank you.
Let me know when you're ready, Mr. McLean.
We're ready. We're just grabbing the right paperwork for the right person, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Weller, you've been charged in case 25 CR 006167D with theft by receiving stolen property. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 4 cycles. The last arrest was June the 20th, 2025 in Fulton County for simple battery, family violence, 2 counts, and terroristic threats and acts. He does appear to be on probation in Fulton County for battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence. That case number is 25 CR 003448 and the letter D. That disposition date was July the 3rd, 2025, and the term is for 12 months. He did receive first offender treatment in 2012 for burglary. That case was sealed January the 6th, 2019. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR Level 2. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor, this stemmed from an October 2nd, 2025 event. South Fulton Police responded to a theft at 922 Camelot Drive. While there, they spoke with the condominium president, whose name is Christopher Day, who had observed earlier 2 males removing bundles of wire from the property and loading them into a van. Mr. Day recorded the incident on his cell phone, capturing 1 male dropping the wire from a balcony, while the second one, later identified as Mr. Weller, placing the bundles into a Dodge Caravan bearing Georgia tag SFF0464. Mr. Day also provided video showing Mr. Weller and the second suspect selling that same wire at South Fulton Metals. Weller did admit he knew the copper wire was taken without the owner's permission. And following a BOLO alert, officers were able to locate the defendant, and the defendant did confess to transporting and selling the copper wire from the location. As such, Your Honor, you did hear the fact that the defendant is currently still on probation now for some violent offenses, and they were just very recent in 2025. And he does have a total of 5 histories on his GCIC, including a burglary conviction for which he did receive first offender for. However, the state is more concerned with the current record in 2025 and the fact that he is on probation and committed this offense. As such, we are recommending a surety bond in the amount of $2,000. We're asking that he stay away from the address that I provided earlier, which is 922 Camelot Drive in College Park, Georgia, and that he's to have no further contact with the condominium president, Mr. Christopher Day. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. McLean?
Your Honor, he's 31 years old and works in appliance repair and HVAC. He went to a local high school and got his HVAC certificate right after that. He would ask the court under these circumstances to consider a $1,000 surety bond if a signature bond is in line.
Be $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the Camelot Drive address. No further contact with Mr. Day. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
The next is position 13, Mr. Crawford Harris.
Okay, we'll find out.
Good afternoon, Mr. Crawford Harris. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006155A with terroristic threats and acts and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history?
There are
Ms.
two
Jackson?
cycles. There are 2 cycles. The last arrest was October the 5th, 2024 in Gwinnett County for driving under the influence of alcohol. There was no disposition for that arrest. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. On October 4th of this year, law enforcement was dispatched to 4104 Butternut Place, South Fulton, in reference to a domestic dispute. Law enforcement arrived and made contact with the victim, Anthony Harris, who advised that his son, the defendant, was being irate toward him and his daughter-in-law. The defendant was angry and cursing at officers and his father. The victim advised that he wanted his son to leave and that his son does not live there. The defendant continued to be irate despite the officer's warnings. He bumped into Officer Jenkins multiple times when he was gathering his things to leave. And then he stated to his father, if I wanted to do something about the situation, then handle it and see what happens. He said, if you weren't 70 years old, I would slap the S out of you. Once outside, the officers advised the defendant to leave, and he said, no, I live here. Given that he does have a limited history, we are asking for a $2,000 signature bond through the, just a $2,000 signature bond, that he consume no alcohol or drugs or possess any weapons while out on while out on bond, that he take a one-day anger awareness course, that he stay away from the incident location, and that he have no further contact with Anthony Harris. And if Mr. Harris is here and would like to speak, I'd like to allow him to speak at this time.
To address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Crawford Harris is 35 years old. He has lived in Georgia for 11 years. He does work as a fitness coach and a massage therapist. He is married, and I spoke with the complaining witness, his father, Mr. Harris, who stated that he told the victim advocate that he has absolutely no reservations about having further contact with his son. He does want contact. Of course, he was not able to join it. Well, not of course, but he's not familiar with Zoom, but he told me that he did say that to the victim advocate. So he would like contact and does not want to stay away. And I would object to the 1-day anger awareness, the stay away, the no further contact, and I would request the signature bond to go through the jail.
Instruction is restricted by
Oh,
SB 63, so I can't send it through the jail. As
that's-
such, for each charge will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Mr. Harris. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 6, Mr. Britton.
Good afternoon, Mr. Britton. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006170C with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 4 cycles. The last arrest was October the 12th, 2015 in Fulton County for a failure to appear. He does have 1 misdemeanor sentence that was in 2013. He received a nolo contendory sentence out of Forest Park, Georgia for driving while licensed, suspended or revoked. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR, a level 1, nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. As it relates to Mr. Darrell Britton, the state is recommending a $3,000 good bond based on the nature of the offense, Your Honor. October 5th of 2025 at approximately 8:15, the officers were dispatched to 721 Blue Mist Cove in South Fulton, Georgia, regarding a domestic call and dispute. Upon arrival, they spoke with a child by the initials of KB, born 4/15/2013, 12 years old. KB advised the officers that the family had just gotten home and her parents were arguing in the kitchen. KB also advised that she observed her dad yelling at her mother, Shawana Britton, as well as she advised officers that they have a long history of arguing and physically fighting, with the father physically assaulting the mother. And she was so descriptive as to say that it's been going on since she was 5 years old. KB advised that she observed Darrell hit Shawana with a closed fist on her right arm, leaving a bruise. Miss Shawana Britton advised that, in addition, he had choked her with his arm and threw her into a counter, also causing bruises. Your Honor, Shawana did advise that Darrell began to say say and throw things during this altercation as well. He did call her a derogative and pretty much threatened to say that he was going to attack her, in which he did in this particular incident. She did say that at some point she was prompted to spray some Mr. Cleaning solution in his face to stop the attack. Your Honor, we have been in contact with Miss Shawana Britton. She is now relegating this to an argument. However, I would remind Your Honor that it was the child that called law enforcement, the 12-year-old, and the 12-year-old that not only indicated that this happened on this particular day and she witnessed it, which is why there's the cruelty to children's charge, but who said that this had been ongoing and that physical altercations often take place between them since she was 5 years old. As such, Your Honor, we are recommending a good bond in the amount of $3,000. We're recommending that at this time that he has no further contact with either with Shawana Britton or the child who for protection is initial K and B, as well as that he stay away from the incident location at 721 Blue Mist Cove in South Fulton, Georgia, 30349. If Your Honor is unwilling to have him start a family violence intervention program, which I believe he should, I would ask that he at least take part in anger awareness. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and the cruelty to children, I don't have that on my calendar. Is that an add-on? Or Ms. Bridgewater, you
I
with
don't
me?
have it either, Your Honor.
Let
Is
me
that been
add
filed
that,
down, Mr. Rhodes?
Your Honor, I thought I filed that down. If not, given the testimony in this one, we will likely file that down. I thought I filed it down. I'll double check. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need to have it because I'm gonna need to give him a bond on that as well if you all are gonna charge it with him. I don't want him sitting there since he's here with me today.
All right. I am showing that we filed it down and there's an accusation filed an accusation. Let me
What?
make sure I attached it. And I'll continue to do that while you continue to go, Your Honor. It looks like I didn't attach it, is what the issue is. I filed it down, didn't attach it, so I'll do that now, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Britton. I see you there. If you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If you choose to, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. Yes, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
What is being said is not actually true. Yes, we do argue a lot. It's just this particular time that it got overheated. And my child did witness that. She did not see the actual altercation. She was upstairs. This has not been ongoing. He did not choke me. He tried to, but he did not choke me. And he did not hit me. I was pushed into the counter, which made the bruises on my arm. This all started with him. He did verbally call me the B word, which made me grab the cleaning solution and spray him, which is when he did jump on me and push me into the counter. So what's being said in that order, that's incorrect. But
Okay.
I would like him to come home. Everybody is safe. Like that's
All right. Has this happened before?
No, it has not. The arguing has.
Has he laid hands on you before?
No.
All right. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Your Honor, I do have a question.
Yes.
And she was sworn in. I do want to ask Ms. Britton, are you alleging that you were the primary aggressor in this incident?
We verbally, he was calling me the B word. So when he jumped at me. He did not hit me at first. I just took the solution and sprayed him, which is when he jumped at me and pushed me into the counter.
So let me make sure that I have the correct sequence of events. Did you spray him because he was jumping at you, or you sprayed at him?
I sprayed because he jumped at me. He just jumped like you do something like that.
Okay. All right. And you're saying that your daughter is 12 years old. Is that correct?
She is.
And you're saying she was present?
She was present during the arguing, but she went upstairs when the physical altercation happened.
And she did speak with law enforcement officers?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Britton is 44 years old. He and the complaining witness, his wife, have been married for 18 years. He's lived in Georgia all his life. He did go into kidney failure in 2020 and had a kidney transplant in 2024. He takes medication every day. He tells me that he does have his medications, but his health is fragile. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. He is recommended at level 1. He only has traffic history, and that's very remote, 10 years ago. So, and I would ask for no violent contact, no stay away. And he does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. The complaining witness also states that that's not accurate. What's stated in the warrant, it sounds like she was the first and primary aggressor. Again, he does deny the allegations, and I would object to a $3,000 surety bond, Your Honor.
There's something going on in this household, it seems, when a 12-year-old child is calling because they are frightened for their parent. At this time, there's going to be no further contact. I'm going to order the Family Violence Intervention Program. If he begins that program and they want to modify this down the road, once he gets into the program and starts the program, then I'm certain we'll reconsider. But at this time, for the battery, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the cruelty, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I want him to start the Family Violence Intervention Program. At this time, no further contact with Ms. Britton. He's to stay away from the Mountain Mist Cove address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. Third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Next, we have position 5, Miss Blake.
Good afternoon, Ms. Blake. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006166A with battery family violence. Is there a history?
There are no prior arrests on file. She does appear to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor. As it relates to Ms. Jacqueline Blake, we are recommending a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. We are asking that, I don't believe we had contact, and I don't know if Mr. Rashad Collins is on the line, but because we were not able to make contact with Rashad Collins, we're asking at this time that there be no further contact with Rashad Collins and that she stay away from 65 Chester Avenue Southeast in Atlanta, Georgia 30316, just to provide context. On October 5th, officers did respond to that 65 Chester Avenue address where it is said that Ms. Blake did cause visible bodily harm to Rashad Collins, her living boyfriend, by biting him on the arm and scratching his face. When the officers came, what they saw was a lot of broken skin and swelling skin from the attack, and that Mr. Collins was trying to restrain the defendant from continuing to attack him. So given the allegations and our lack of contact with him, that's what we're asking for, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, I see a Rashad on the line. If this is Rashad Collins and you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I would need for you to activate your camera for me. Yes, sir. If you can
Hello?
raise your, good afternoon,
Yes.
sir. If you can raise your
Good
right hand
afternoon.
for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Collins, what would you like to tell the court?
I personally do not believe Jackie is I'm an advocate of Jacqueline. I understand it's a very volatile circumstance and situation right now. I do ask that she is granted access to Chester Avenue once all of my belongings is gone. I don't want her to be like not able to go there. I just need the time to make the plan to get my stuff out. But yes, yeah, I
Okay,
don't know.
so it's my understanding that you don't want any further contact at the present time, and that she can go back to that residence once you vacated. Is that correct?
It's, it's not that I don't personally want contact. I am more so concerned about just the volatile net situation that is in, and I don't want either anyone to be further implicated. So I don't know the best way to go about that, but uh, yes, if that means no
Okay.
contact, that means no contact. But yeah,
Okay, thank you, Mr. Collins. I appreciate you being here this afternoon.
no problem. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, Miss Blake is 28 years old, and as you heard, this is her first arrest. She has lived in Georgia for several years, 2 years at the same address on Chester Avenue. She does work full-time. And Your Honor, I would ask for her to be able to return to that address. And I don't know at when, I guess if you could set it for a certain date to return with law enforcement to confirm that he's not there. And then she can return there because she does not have another place to go. And no further contact and a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1.
Mr. Collins, are you still with me?
Yes, Your Honor.
When do you believe that you will have vacated the apartment?
It's tricky. This all happened so suddenly, so I'm in the process of applying for apartments. I'm not 100% sure just because of the time I'm not, it's on other, it's not solely on my time. I would say minimum 2 weeks. But I can't give a definite answer right at this moment. But I do know Miss Blake does have, I talked to her father this morning, and she does have family that's here in town that she could stay with. So that is an option if available. But I just want to try to expedite this as quickly as possible. I just can't give a definitive timeline because I am at the mercy of applying for apartment complexes. So.
I understand, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anything further, Mr. Ty?
Nothing further.
It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Collins. At this point in time, she's to stay away from the Chester Avenue address. She can go back initially with a police escort to collect any belongings that she needs while he's still residing there. And she can collect those belongings and go someplace else. Once he has vacated the apartment, and if she wishes to go back, she can go back again with a one-time escort to make sure that he is vacated if she wishes to return to the apartment. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your
Good
Honor,
luck
will
to
you
you.
repeat that bond again for me one more time, please?
$3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Collins. She can initially go back to retrieve some of her belongings with a police escort when she gets out, but she cannot reside there as long as Mr. Collins resides there. Once
Thank you.
Mr. Collins vacates, then she can go back with another police escort to make sure that he's vacated. If she chooses to move back into that apartment, she can.
Thank you.
You're
Your Honor,
welcome.
may I say something really quickly?
Yes, sir.
One thing with us, we do share animals together. She has her dog and her 2 cats at the house. And so I just wanted to have an understanding as to whether or not, they're more than welcome to stay there, but I just don't know what entails with them in all of this. I would more than happily take care of them in the meantime, but I just want clarity on it so there's no
Okay.
confusion.
I've given her a police escort to retrieve what's necessary once she gets out. If she deems that those animals are necessary, or if you can give them to her at that point in time. Otherwise, if you're in touch with any of the family members and they want to, if you don't wish to take care of the pets, then if you want to give them to family members, if that's agreeable, that's fine. However you want to work it out. But
That's fine.
she's been granted a one-time escort to come back once she gets out to retrieve her essential. Okay?
Okay, that's fine. And I just want it to be known that the animals are fine there unless
Okay.
she wants them there. Yeah, it's up to her. Completely up to
Okay.
her.
Very good. Thank you again for being here, sir.
No problem. Thank you very much.
For Ms. Francis, position 17. Mr. Rose, did you find out anything?
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for reminding me. As Your Honor, this was position 17, and I believe that the issue came up as it relates to the failure to appear warrant on 23 CR 005011. And so what I got, Mr. Ty, and there's something more that you have. Looks like notice was mailed out on July 15th of 2024 to 190 Westlake Avenue, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia 30314. It was for court on August 26, 2024, and she did miss that court date. I am showing that was her, that what I'm showing is that was her last known address. As a matter of fact, when she signed up for our diversion program, which was, let me give you that date. She signed up for our diversion program March 15th of 2024. And on that date, she provided us with the address of 190 Westlake Avenue, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia 30314, and some of her email address and her phone number at that time. And that was the last address I have. I don't see where there was a change of address in the document section of not attorney manager, but case manager. So if there was some other information that you had, Mr. Ty.
Well, I just see what's on Odyssey, and I don't, if she hasn't had a change of address, her address in Odyssey is 19 Westlake Avenue Northwest.
No, I'm showing 190 on that was filled out on both her diversion intake form and the last known address that was given to the courts. So I don't know if there's someone that's a case manager from the courts or lit manager that can confirm, but that's what I'm showing, the 190. But you're saying it's off by the zero.
Yeah,
190 supposed to be
yeah, which takes the mail to a different place. But I mean, all I know is when you go in Odyssey, you click on her name, and that's Summer Akil, position 1. The address in Odyssey, which is where the notice should be mailed, is 19 Westlake Avenue Northwest. And if there's been no change of address, then that's been her address in the system.
I do think they also go by the address that the defendant gives as well, because I know that the address she gave us was 190 for diversion, and I can share screen and show you that. And she signed off on that. So I would like to hear from.
I don't think that the clerk mails based on what address is on the diversion form.
No, I'm not saying that, but I don't think that there was no return of service either on the 190 Westlake Avenue.
Because 190 is an address where the mail would go.
I guess I'm asking.
It's not her address.
If the clerk of court can provide some direction as to whether or not the 19 is the appropriate address or the 190 is the appropriate address.
Ms. Champion, will you look into that, please?
Notice went to 190 West Avenue, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia 30314.
And was that the correct address that you had on file, or should you have mailed it to 19 Westlake Avenue, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia?
I'm not. The notice went out to the case manager for the division of judgment got the notice, and that's the address that they sent out. I don't know what the address should have been, but that's where the notice went. I don't see anything for any other address in the
I'm also, for some reason, when I look her up on jailing, it's telling me I don't have access because she's in transit. Because I wanted to look to see what was on the bond paperwork. Could somebody look to see what's, okay, I have it now. What was on the bond paperwork for her? For the 2023 case?
Is there a question or?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor, I'm looking at the jail documents and for some reason it's not allowing me to. I'm just asking if someone could look.
I believe that the address that the clerk has is the one that is in Odyssey. When you click on her name, and that's where notices should be mailed. Because that is her address with the clerk, which is not 190, it's 19. Just because she's being held on a $5,000 failure to appear bond, I mean, she'll have to make a $5,000 bond on a failure to appear where the notice was sent to the wrong address, and that's that will keep her in custody when she has a signature bond on the charges, which are from 2023.
All right, and I'm seeing here as well, Mr. Ty, that on the warrant from 2023, I'm showing that it was in fact 19 Westlake Avenue. So I'm comparing the warrant from 2023 to what's in the system. Well, what's on where it was mailed. And it does say 19 Westlake Avenue, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia. So is that, I just asked Mr. Ty that she does some type of change of address with the clerk's office to make sure that it is in, so that there will be no mistakes in the.
We can send it again, but the clerk has 19.
Well, the clerk sent it to 190, Mr. Ty. So herein lies the problem. If she does a formal form and put 19 on there, I think there will be clarity for everyone.
I will send that.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm willing to go ahead and submit the null pros on the failure to appear case. Do you have the FTA number on?
Yes, it's 24-00-4099 FTA.
Okay, that's the one I have. I'll submit null pros, Ms. Bridgewater, if that's okay.
Yes.
On this particular case. And thank you, Mr. Ty, for catching that early, because I would hate for her to sit in jail for.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Judge, I'm confirming that on the warrant, it says 19, so it is in contrary to where the notice was.
Okay, all right, so I'm glad that y'all were able to work it out. I will sign that whenever Ms. Bridgewater gets it to me. Okay,
Mr. Rose, if you can, go ahead and send it to me, so when I send the other paperwork to the judge, we have it,
All
okay?
right, will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
all right, thank you all. Good luck to you, ma'am. Who do we have next?
Thank you, Mr. Ty.
Position 7, Mr. Byrd.
Good afternoon, Mr. Byrd. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006173E with loitering and prowling. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 42 cycles. The last arrest was June the 12th, 2025 in DeKalb County for obstruction of an officer. Does appear to be on probation in DeKalb County for entering an automobile. That disposition date was March the 9th, 2023, and the term is for 5 years. He does appear to have an open case pending in DeKalb County for possession of Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance with the intent to distribute. He does appear to have an additional open probation case in DeKalb County for 4 counts of burglary in the 2nd degree. That disposition date was January the 23rd, 2025. It says 1 year and 595 days on probation. And he appears to have an additional open case pending in DeKalb County for obstruction of an officer. He does have prior felony convictions. One in 2019 for theft by taking, that was out of DeKalb County. one in 2015 out of DeKalb County for robbery and aggravated assault, one in 2012 for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute and possession of controlled substance, one in 2008 for burglary and theft by taking, one in 2007 for felony obstruction of an officer and criminal damage to property in the second degree and interference with government property, one in 2004 for possession of controlled substance, one in 2003 for burglary and theft by receiving stolen property, one in 2001 for burglary. And there are misdemeanor convictions, one in 2025 out of DeKalb County for theft by shoplifting, one in 2021 out of DeKalb County for theft by taking, and 2 counts of criminal trespassing, one in 2018 for theft by shoplifting, one in 2015 out of DeKalb County for battery, family violence, one in 2012 out of DeKalb County for criminal trespassing. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor, as it relates to sorry, what position are we on? Is this Jeremy Byrd?
Yes, position 7.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, Your Honor, I won't belabor the criminal history. We are asking for a $3,000 good bond based on what you heard, propensity to commit more crimes. Stay away from 99 Moreland Avenue, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia, and no further contact with Kevon Ward. Your Honor, he has an extensive criminal history, and on October 5th of this year, officers were dispatched to a prowler call at 99 Moreland Avenue. Upon arrival, they did see a male wearing all red, which the victim, Mr. Kevon Ward, described to the 911 caller. The male wearing all red was later identified as Mr. Jeremy Byrd. He then made contact with Mr. Byrd, and he was detained. Mr. Ward was on the scene and stated that he got notification from his phone that the in the camera on his porch at 8:26 a.m. and Mr. Ward immediately came there and showed officers the video of what he saw, and what he saw was that Mr. Ward was going throughout the property, looking inside of windows, in the front window, back windows. Mr. Ward stated that Mr. Byrd then saw his camera and repositioned the camera out of view. And then Mr. Ward stated that Mr. Byrd eventually took his camera down altogether so that nothing could be seen whatsoever. So he just took it off of the house all completely. Officers were able to gather that video. They did load it in evidence.com. And of course, Mr. Byrd was charged with this trespassing on the property of Mr. Ward. You've already heard the criminal history. It is consistent with this. He's had several convictions related to criminal trespass, burglaries, and things of that nature. And officers did believe, however, unconfirmed at this point, that there were other burglars in the area, and they believed that Mr. Byrd fit the description of the person that was described during those particular burglaries. Those are ongoing investigations that are happening with the Atlanta Police Department as we speak. So as such, Your Honor, we are asking for a $3,000 good bond. He needs to stay away from 99 Moreland Avenue, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia. He's not have no further contact with the victim in this case, Mr. Kevon Ward. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Byrd is 51 years old. He has lived in Georgia for the last 4 years. He has struggled with homelessness during that time. He does work doing day labor in carpentry or handyman work. He, as you heard, he is on probation. He can report. I'm not sure if he would qualify for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it's at level 3. He tells me that he can report. If not, I would ask that the bond stay where it is, which is $1,000 good bond. And no objection to the stay away, nothing further.
Okay, it'll be $1,000 good bond, social worker visit to assist with housing. No further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 11, Mr. Cook.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cook. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006185C with battery. Is there a history?
There are no prior arrests on file. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor. This is this is family violence, am I correct?
I just have a battery.
Oh, it's just a battery? Okay. I'm asking for $3,000 signature bond. Your Honor, I'm asking for pretrial services level 1, given the nature of the incident, and that at this time he has no further contact with the victim in this case, Miss Kenya Render, and that he participate in anger awareness through pretrial services. I ask that he just comply with all of his doctor's instructions as it relates to appointments and medications, Your Honor. And if you'd like a factual, I am agreeing to a signature bond. If you'd like a factual basis on this one, Your Honor, on October 4th of 2025, Officer McFadden responded to 6850 Smoke Ridge Drive in reference to a domestic dispute. Upon arrival, they spoke with a Miss Kenya Render, who advised she came to the area to see her boyfriend, Malik Cook, who was cutting grass in the neighborhood, and they were having conversations about his infidelity and cheating on her. Kenya advised that Malik got in her vehicle and she drove to the side of the road, and that is where she told him she wanted to talk about him cheating. Kenya stated that Malik did not want to talk about it, but she wanted to talk about it. Eventually, Malik got mad, grabbed her by her hair, and began to punch her in the face, causing visible swelling to the right side of her face and her left ear, and blood in the scalp of her head from pulling her hair. Kenya also stated that she did punch Malik back in the nose, causing him to bleed, but she was defending herself, is what she told officers. Kenya advised that Malik knew she called police, so he did in fact flee the scene on that particular day, even leaving his lawnmower, I believe, Your Honor. So, despite one of my better recommendations because of the flight risk, I am asking for a $3,000 signature bond under pretrial services level 1. That at this time he has no further contact with Kenya Render. I do believe that anger awareness is appropriate here, and that he comply with his current doctor's appointments and medications. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. If Ms. Render is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cook is 23 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He does work in landscaping. He has a 5-year-old child who he supports. This is his first arrest, Your Honor, so I have no objection, of course, to the signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. He did tell me that he denies the allegations as stated in the warrant and that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. So I would object to the anger awareness, but I have no objection to the no further contact. And I just want to make sure if there is a stay away, it is not from the 6850 Smoke Ridge Drive, because that is his home and she does not live there. The complaining witness lives in Noonan, Georgia. Nothing further. And I would object to the anything as far as the court's monitoring his medication. Nothing further.
$1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Render. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Cook.
I'm sorry, could I get that amount again, please, Your Honor?
2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is position 19, Mr. Hunter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hunter. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006183J with criminal trespass and fare evasion. Is there a history?
There are 2 cycles. The last arrest was March the 15th, 2016 in DeKalb County for battery family violence. That charge was non-pros on December the 7th, 2016. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. On October 5th of this year at 216 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, officers observed the defendant enter into a paid area of MARTA after he was advised to leave. He advised officers that he did not have the means to pay, and he was already given 2 active suspensions for committing the act of fare evasion from MARTA. Given that he has a limited history, we're asking for a $2,000 unsecured bond, that he stay away from the Peachtree MARTA location while out on bond, and that he comply with any active MARTA bans.
If it's okay with you, we have $500 signature bond through the jail per charge, which makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Abide by any active MARTA suspensions, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Does that suit you?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Hunter.
Next is position 37, Mr. Walker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Walker. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006162J with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 7 cycles. The last arrest was May the 26th, 2024, with the city of Atlanta for battery. This should be a bond surrender, Your Honor. Mr. Walker was out on a signature bond through pretrial services for battery. That case number is 24 CR 003294 and the letter J. He was recommended for UJR level 2. Nothing in addition.
Okay. Who's presenting from the state?
Me, Your Honor.
Yes. Ms. McGill.
On October 5th, 2025, Officer Ocean was dispatched to 815 Magnolia Way in reference to a domestic call. The caller advised 911 that her cousin, Zachary Walker, punched her on the left side of her face, causing her left ear to bleed. On the scene, based on Mrs. Strickland's statement, visible injuries, a warrant was taken out for Mr. Walker. We're asking for a $3,000 surety bond, that he consume no alcohol or drugs and possess no weapons while out on bond, that he take an anger awareness course, and that he stay away from the incident location. And Mrs. Strickland, I will get her first name in a moment, Your Honor. I'm sorry, it just wasn't, I didn't write it down.
Serena Strickland?
Serena, okay.
If you were sounding for her and speaking with counsel, would you pull up the bond on the 3294 case for me, Ms. McGill? And I need to know if I was the one to assign that bond and how much it was.
Can I have the case number, Your Honor?
24 CR 003294J, I believe. Thank you. If Miss Serena Strickland is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, he's 39 years old, high school education, works unarmed security, but that's for the 3 years. He asked the court to set the bond as low as possible on this, given the circumstances. He'd like a signature bond if that's legal or if that's at all possible.
Are you having trouble getting to that, Ms. McGill? If so, it's fine. Oh, I have it. It was a pretrial bond, Judge Williams. Thank you, Ms. Champion. As such, it will be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, are you approving the bond surrender?
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
Okay, who do we have next?
Position 21, Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006177B with simple assault family violence. Is there a history?
There are 22 cycles. The last arrest was March the 20th, 2020 out of Sandy Springs, Georgia for a probation violation. There are prior felony convictions, one in 2007 for possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute and possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute. One in 2003 for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. One in 1991 for dangerous drugs. And additional one in 1991 for theft by receiving stolen property. And there's a misdemeanor sentence, received a nolo contendere sentence in 2010 out of Stone Mountain, Georgia for driving while license suspended or revoked. It's recommended for UJR level 3, nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, on October 5th, of this year, law enforcement officer responded to an assault that occurred at 1371 Kimberly Way Southwest. They made contact with the victim, Miss Natasha Benz, who stated that she came to the location to pick up her son and to get the rest of her belongings. And the defendant was mumbling and trying to start an argument. She told him that he needed to get off of the video game so that she can retrieve her TV. It escalated to him slapping the glasses off of her face. Given his history, we are going to ask for a $2,000 secured bond to have no further contact with the victim in this case, Miss Natasha Benz, to stay away from the 1371 Kimberly Way Southwest as long as Miss Benz resides there. And that's all, Your Honor.
Mr. Klein?
Your Honor, he's 53. His high school education locally here, been in Georgia all his life, very stable in terms of having plenty of community contacts. For the last 8 years, he's worked as a cook at a particular restaurant. Despite the 22 cycles, I would emphasize the age of most of those cycles. We would ask the lowest possible bond on this. He says she does not stay there.
There will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. No further contact with Ms. Vins. He can have a one-time escort to the Kimberly Way address. If she does not reside there, he can stay. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is position 24, Mr. McDonough.
Good afternoon, Mr. McDonough. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006191J with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 5 cycles. The last arrest was September the 12th, 2021, out of Cherokee County, Georgia, for a DUI. There was no disposition for that arrest. He does have 1 misdemeanor sentence. He received first offender treatment in 1995 out of Gwinnett County for theft by shoplifting. The case was sealed July 6, 2017. He appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 1. Nothing in addition.
Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor, on October the 5th of 2025, officers responded to 7848 Kyverton Place in Sandy Springs, Georgia. The victim in this case is Ms. Heather Grafton, who reported that her husband and she were arguing all day while they were in the bedroom. He got on top of her, placed his hands around her neck, and he also placed his hand over her mouth and nose, and she appeared not to be able to breathe for a period of time. Period of seconds. There was visible redness in the neck area when the officers arrived. He admitted to placing his hands around her neck, but didn't remember covering her mouth. The victim in this case, I believe she is on the line as well. But she has indicated that he typically behaves this way and becomes angry when he is intoxicated. And I know that Ms. Jackson indicated he has 2 prior DUIs. I thought I saw 3. Actually, our recommendation is for a $3,000 surety bond because he has a limited history with this is his first violent offense that I saw there. That he have no further contact with Heather Grafton, that he go through pretrial services, that he complete at least 8 anger management classes, that he also participate in the ADET, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while under supervision, and that he stay away from the 7848 Kyverton Place address at this time. If we ask the court to sound for Ms. Grafton.
Ms. Grafton, if I see you on the line, if you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I need for you to activate your camera and raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yeah, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Just that everything that was said was true. And that he really needs help. He has a lot of anger and he has a drinking problem, and I just want him to get help.
Okay. Thank
That's
you.
it.
Yeah. I appreciate you being here this afternoon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. McLean?
Mr. McDonough is 47 with 2 years of college, and he works in sales and marketing for an international firm. So he's stable and in the community, and will be showing back up for court. We would ask under these circumstances, the evaluation mentioned, of course, is appropriate. We would ask the court to consider the lowest bond that would be possible in this situation. If it's not a signature bond, then we would ask for a 1,000 surety.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I want him to begin the family violence intervention program. I want him to have alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment that's necessary. He's at this time to have no further contact with Ms. Grafton. He's to stay away from the Herverton Place address. If necessary, he can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
That includes my children, right?
How are your children?
They're his stepchildren, but I'm assuming that would be them too, right?
Yes, ma'am. At this time, I'll have them stay away from both you and your children.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, who do we have next?
Position 27, Mr. Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mitchell. You have been charged in case 25 CR 00617Y with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 31 cycles. The last arrest was July the 4th, 2018, with the city of Atlanta for simple battery family violence. There was no disposition for that arrest. He does have prior felony convictions, one in 2007 for escape, and one in 2006 for possession of controlled substance and obstructing an officer, and possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, and terroristic threats and acts, and there are misdemeanor convictions. One in 2017 for simple battery, one in 2012 for simple battery, family violence, and simple assault, one in 2006 for simple battery, 2 counts, and one in 2003 for disorderly conduct and obstructing an officer. And he does appear to meet the criteria for UJR at level 3. Nothing in addition.
Seventh panel.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident happened October the 5th of 2025 at 3440 Boulder Park Drive. It was a domestic dispute. Once Officer Raymond arrived, Grady Buss was already on the scene, speaking with the victim, Pamela Chapman. She was being treated for an abrasion under her eye and several scratches on her face. She'd indicated that Mr. Mitchell, who she lives with, came home, was intoxicated, started throwing a pot of rice that she had on the stove around. He grabbed her and slammed her to the ground and pulled her hair. At this particular time, we are asking bond in the amount of $2,000 surety bond, no further contact. Because this was alcohol related, we're asking for ADT, stay away from 3440 Boulder Park Drive. That would be our recommendation.
Could you read the name of the alleged victim again, please?
It was a $2,000 surety that he have no further contact with Pamela Chapman. Stay away from 3440 Boulder Park Drive Southwest because she'd indicated this was alcohol related. We're asking for ADT while he is out on bond.
Okay. If Ms. Chapman is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mitchell's 50 years old. He's local as can be. And he has worked roofing for over 30 years. He also, for the last 4 months, has had a job in the entertainment or hospitality industry. We asked the court to set the bond as low as possible so he can get out and get to work. Signature bond if possible, but if not possible, then a regular $1,000 surety.
Okay, for each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Pamela Chapman. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 39, Mr. White.
Good afternoon, Mr. White. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006169B with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 98 cycles.
You only have to give me the last 10 years, please, Ms. Jackson.
Okay.
Thank
The
you.
last arrest was May the 3rd, 2025, out of Henry County, Georgia, for a P&I. He does have misdemeanor convictions. One in 2025 out of Henry County for a P&I. An additional one in 2025 out of Henry County for criminal trespassing. And he received a no-low contendory sentence in 2024 out of Clayton County for terroristic threats and acts. Excuse me. He received a no-low contendory sentence in 2024 out of Clayton County for obstruction of an officer. And he received a no-low contendory sentence in 2018 out of Clayton County for criminal trespassing, and one in 2017 for disorderly conduct. Additional one in 2017 for criminal trespassing. Received a no-low contendory sentence in 2017 for theft by shoplifting. One in 2014 for criminal trespassing. And there was a no-low contendory sentence in 2012 out of Clayton County for criminal trespassing. And one in 2000, a conviction in 2012 for obstruction and disorderly in giving false information to an officer. Nothing in addition. He does appear to meet the criteria for UJR a level 3.
Thank you. Ms. Evans, back.
Yes, Your Honor. October 4th of 2025, officers responded to a trespassing call at the Exxon gas station. And it was by a Sheriff Kareem, and reported that he had previously been given a criminal trespass warning on September 25th of 2025. The property is located at 3843 Jonesboro Road, Southeast. He was placed under arrest at this particular time, given his long history from criminal trespass to burglary. We're asking for a bond in the amount of $3,000 surety bond, that he not have any violent contact, and that have any violent contact, I don't know what that's there, $3,000 surety bond, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while under bond. And he stay away from the location at 3843 Jonesboro Road, Southeast.
Thank you. Mr. McLean.
Thank you. I'm off mute now, Your Honor. Willie White is 61 years old, and he has an address on Renault Road, so he can get his mail. Your Honor, he has a high school education. He's trying to get a disability approved. He has a medical problem, and unfortunately, right now he doesn't have an emergency contact, but he does get mail. So he would ask the court to give him another chance and mail the court notice there, and he's asking for a signature on. He might need a social worker visit to help him with getting things together, because it sounds like his disability application isn't it's just kind of hung up, and I think he needs to get back on that.
Okay, and Mr. White understands he has to stay away from that Exxon, right, on Jonesboro Road?
Yes, is that the Exxon near the Firestone?
It's right there against the Home Depot.
Okay, I know,
Oh, yeah, I
okay.
ain't been
He knows where it
there
is and where to stay away from
I
that.
ain't been
All
there.
right, is he able to make a dollar good bond?
Make a dollar bond. You got a friend that can bring a dollar down here in court.
A dollar with that is.
It's a $1 bill. Can somebody bring a dollar bill to the front window of this jail building?
Yeah, I can get it.
Okay, but see, I don't have a phone number for you, so how am I? In trouble, Your Honor, coming up with the concept of getting somebody down here, because he doesn't have the emergency contact number of any threat. That's the only problem, but it does sound like a very.
Well, hopefully y'all can work that out. I'm gonna make it a dollar good bond, stay away from the Exxon on Jonesboro Road. Social worker visit to assist with housing or if necessary, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. White.
I'm gonna have a social worker come talk to me about that.
Next is add-on 1, Mr. Woodard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Woodard. You have been charged in case 25 CR 00619 with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history?
There are 11 cycles. The last arrest was August the 2nd, 2019 in Fulton County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. There are prior felony convictions, one in 2015 for burglary in the first degree, one in 2012 out of Henry County for forgery in the first degree, and possession of cocaine. And he appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 2, nothing in addition.
The seventh panel?
Yes, on October the 4th of 2025, Officer Johnson responded to a dispute at 942 Hank Aaron Drive. Miss Kimberly Strong is the victim, and she reported that her boyfriend, Mr. Woodard, became drunk and unruly, and they were being asked to leave from the location. She was asking him to leave. He used a large brick to break her living room window. She indicated also that her grandchild was present, who appeared to be maybe 2 years of age. Upon arrival, he was still there. He was disorderly, still smelled of alcohol, and the officers observed the hole in the window with the brick. We're asking in this particular case for a $3,000 surety bond, that he have no further contact with the victim, Kimberly Strong, that he stay away from the location, which is 193, stay away from her location, which is 1935 Allison Court. And that if the court is so inclined, that he complete a family, the FVIP. Miss Strong, I'm not sure that she's on the line. I don't see her name, but she had indicated that at some point in time that she wishes for him to repay the damages and that he has been violent before. And that would be our recommendation at this time, Your Honor.
Ms. Kimberly Strong is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, stay away if the court desires to, if the court feels that is appropriate. Stay away would not be a problem because he lives in a 30344 zip code in East Point on Holcomb something and well, provide that to the clerk. And Your Honor, he went to a high school locally here, part of the local school system. His job is in the demolition area. He demolishes buildings with his cohorts, his co-workers. And of course, he's 45 years old. He won't have any problem staying away. So we're going to ask the court to set the bond as low as possible here. If a signature bond is not possible, we would ask for a 1,000 surety. But even the worst thing I heard from the last several years was that burglary first degree, and that's not always a violent crime. But thank you, Your Honor.
All right, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Ms. Strong. Stay away from the Hank Aaron Drive address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
And
Good luck to you, sir.
The state say there was another place to stay away from as well.
There's on here a 1935 Allison Court. I'm not.
That's what I thought I heard, right?
But the address where the incident took place was the 942 Hank Aaron Drive.
You'll be sure to stay away from both.
We have next.
Next are the two waivers. Positions 10 and 31. And also, do you want me to give you the resets, Your Honor?
Okay, so 10 and 31 will be waivers.
Somebody else.
So
26 and 28.
10 and 31 is Cobb.
26.
Yes.
That until Wednesday. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's 10-8. And did you say 28 as well?
Yes, 26 and 28 are reset.
Okay. And they're both to 10-8. Okay, so the first waiver would be position number 10. That will be Tawana Cobb, charged in case 25 CR 0061189G with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file. She appears to meet the criteria for UJR to the jail.
Okay, thank you. Who's presenting for position 10, Ms. Cobb?
I believe that's me, Your Honor. Forgive me one moment. I was a little off grid. Tawana Cobb, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Judge, I'll spare you the factual basis. It's a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. No further violent contact with Simone Cobb. That's her sister, and that's why it's charged as family violence. I do believe that. Yeah, that's it, Judge. Thank you.
Hey, is Ms. Simone Cobb on the line? If you are and wish to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Any objection to any of the state's requests?
No, Your Honor.
All right, as such, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Simone Cobb. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. The next is position 31, Chase Pittman, who's charged in case 25 CR 0061187G with simple battery in a public transit vehicle or station, criminal trespass, and fare evasion. Is there a history?
I'm pulling that file now, Your Honor. There are 28 cycles. The last arrest was March 19th, 2025, out of Coweta County for a probation violation. He does appear to have an open case pending in Fulton County for physical obstructing another. That case number is 25 CR 002636. And he does appear to be on probation in Coweta County for robbery. That disposition date was January the 11th, 2018. 1 year of confinement and 9 years of probation. And he has prior felony convictions. One in 2021 out of Floyd County for criminal damage to property in the second degree. One in 2020 for robbery. He has misdemeanor convictions. One in 2022 out of Cobb County for giving false information to an officer. One in 2018 out of Carroll County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. And he appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 3. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Evans panel.
Yes, this happened October the 4th of 2025, in which he went through the gate without paying the $2.50 fare at 216 Peachtree, which is the MARTA Peachtree Center Station. He had previously been given notice that he wasn't supposed to be on the property. His suspension from MARTA was for all MARTA from August until October the 7th. So there was a transit agent who was telling him that he needed to move his stuff and not be laying on the platform, which is what captured her attention. He became upset as he was gathering his things. He went up to her and he spat on her multiple times before exiting the station. We're asking for a bond in this particular case of $1,000 as to each count. Surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, he is 31 years old and uses 201 Washington Street, which, while it is a mail drop at a program, is nonetheless a reliable mail drop. He should have no problem getting his mail. We understand what he's accused of here. We would ask the court to set the bond as low as possible. He shouldn't have any problem getting notice of coming to court again. Let's see, and he did discuss with me his priors. He also gave me, Your Honor, a emergency contact. So he has community contacts and should be able to use those. So we would ask the court to set the bond as low as possible. I think he needs a social worker visit, and we're going to ask for that as well. Thank you.
Okay, for the battery, it'll be a $500 good bond. For each of the other offenses, $250 good bond each, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. Social worker visit to assess for VHET and housing if necessary. Stay away from MARTA. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. All right, if I'm not mistaken, that completes the 2 o'clock calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you're ready for us.
Yes, I am. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is October the 21st. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. Position 3, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 4, reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through pretrial. 5 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 6, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 7 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 8 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 9, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 10, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 11, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 12 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond, and we're going to add the other two cases along to that calendar with this one. 13 is reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 14, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 15, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 16, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 17, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 18, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 19 is reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through the jail. 20 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 21, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 22, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 23 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. 24, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 25 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 26 is being reset to Wednesday, which the date is October the 8th. 27 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 28 is being reset to Wednesday. 29 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 30, set to the SAP calendar with a $5,000 good bond. 31 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 32, reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through pretrial. 33, SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 34 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 35, reset further notice with a total $10,000 SOB through pretrial. 36, reset to the SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. 37 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 38 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 39 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1 good bond or cash or however you want to put it, but it's going to the SAP calendar. 40 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 41 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. And the add-on position is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
If not, see you next time.
I'm still holding on some things, I think from Mr. Rose or someone from the solicitor's office. A null pros, I think it was the null pros for the judge to sign. Please send it to me so I can send it to the judge. Okay?
Did you receive it from a Gramikia Mathis?
Well, Mr. Rose, I may have, let me look.
I should have told you it was coming from, my bad.
Okay, no problem. I'll look. Other than that, you all have a good one.
Thank you, you as well.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'll stay on the way because I just want to make sure she sent it to you.
Okay, well, don't go nowhere. Hold on.
All
It will
right.
be coming from whom?
Ms. Mathis, Gramikia.
Ah, I got it.
All right, thank you.
Good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.